right, everybody. It is another Tuesday night in the year of our Lord 2025, and you know what that means. That means we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, www.welikesportspc.com proudly presents to you its podcast tag team champions of the world, the Clean Geek, Mike Valentine, and to my right, my buddy Cheese, and we are the 643 and out guys, and you're listening to the Sportz Truth. Cheese, what is it on your head?
This is part of my head. I was born with this.
Were you? That had to hurt your mother.
She's cool though. She's cool about it. You know, cheese head. It's just I was born with this, and so I can never take it off. Apparently, so yeah. Go Pack, go!
Wow. Okay, we haven't even really started the show yet. We've already got 2 comments going, so we'll get those up here in a second. Roger Strauss is already on board with us here, so we'll get to that in just a moment. Man, I can't wait for this show. Been doing a lot of research, and I know you have too. This is going to be our first annual NFL preview and prediction show. But, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, because we're going to be doing MLB and we're going to be doing college football, and we'll do the college football right after we do the walk-up music.
Are you ready? 20 seconds start now. Ten seconds remaining.
It always gets you, doesn't it?
I just
5.
I want to dance, Mike.
4,
I want to dance.
3, 2, 1.
All right, guys, I tell you what a show we have for you today. It's going to be big. It is our NFL preview and prediction show, so we're going to do a ton of NFL. I've got all these papers over here that she's printed off for me. We're going to do division winners and losers for each division. We are going to do Micah Parsons. We're going to talk about team captains. We're going to talk about the AFC title game matchup, what that will be. We're going to talk about the NFC. We're going to predict the Super Bowl winner today, offensive and defensive rookie of the year, even the coach of the year, and the MVP of the league. We are going to dive deep, ladies and gentlemen. But that's not all. Don't worry, we'll still give you your college football fix, and we'll give you your MLB fix. That's right. We'll look at week one's worst loss. Who is that going to be? Week one's biggest victory. We'll look at both of those in the college game. We're also going to do a lot of other stuff as college goes. Who will fall out of the top 10 of the losing teams this weekend? We'll tell you. And then we'll go into four-pitch talk. We're going to do something crazy today. We're going to look at the East. Yes, I know, crazy. We're going to look at the division races in MLB as if it was a presidential race. And we're going to pick, we can call it, it's too close to call, or it's going to be an upset. So we'll look at all of the MLB races in that. We'll talk about the Braves, and we'll also focus on the Mariners before it's all said and done. So, Cheese, my buddy, we have got a lot to talk about here. And the comments are just coming in crazy, right? They're already wooing for us. I'm not sure if that's the Flair woo. That's the Roger woo right there. We'll talk more about Arch Manning here in a moment, I am sure. For those of you who have not seen or listened to Cheese's newest podcast over on his channel, which I'm sure he'll plug, 30 or 40 times during the show.
50 or 60.
Oh yeah. See, your hat is having effects on people right now.
Cheese is a very yummy food.
Yes. Okay. I mean, it's not one of my favorite ones, but all right.
Agree to disagree.
Packers fans.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, no problem. We can do that. You can agree to disagree. So, yeah, getting all these comments out of the way. Got a lot of people up on our YouTube channel right now. Go over to that because you know what I've noticed, Cheese? I've noticed that you do it on every one of your podcasts, but we don't do it on this podcast at all, and that's my fault. So let's do it right now. Hit the subscribe button, like, because it helps the channel, right? And then is there anything else they should do over on YouTube like they do with your channel at Football with Cheese?
You can enable alerts. It's the bell, the notification bell, and that way you never miss a video.
Oh,
I'm starting to think Mike might bring back those 5-6 minute segments that he puts on X. Might bring those back, maybe not. And those are really cool. So maybe he'll bring those back, and then you'll never miss one if you subscribe and hit the notification bell.
We haven't talked about this, so we'll just do it like we're live right here on the air, right? I'm thinking that you should do your top 10 NFL teams every week and put it on the channel. And then I'm going to do the top 10 college football teams every week and put it on the channel. And yes, I like your idea. I should go back and do the, what was it? Thinking outside the box is the MLB awesome. One. So, yeah, I like all that. We're going to, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, all of you who are already tuned in, and we appreciate it. We'll do better. We'll do better. All right. But
we're going to bring you more content. We're going to bring you more content because we're very likable people and people want to see more of us.
Well, sounds good. I don't know. You should ask some of the people I work with. I'm not sure if they would agree with that, but
okay. Well, maybe they just want to see more of me.
Okay. There we go. There we go. They want to see more of you.
There you go.
I'll put that one on. Oh boy. All right, if this is your first time tuning in, first of all, shame on you. No, really, we love first-time viewers. You guys are fantastic. So if this is your first time tuning in to us, I'll put it up there, but I'm ramen on wheels. More deep into what? You give us a little more, buddy. Give us a little more. All right. We love the interaction. They want
us to go deeper on the topics. I think go even deeper, like analytically, maybe.
Maybe so. Oh,
Roger, bring more analytics to the table. We can do more research. You love stats. I've never met anyone that loves stats more than you.
I don't know if anybody loves stats as much as I do. Like you just said, I am all in.
Nobody loves it more than you.
No, numbers don't lie, brother. I've said that forever. Now, Roger, we're talking about listening to the podcast, sir. It's a family show. So let me take that back off of there. All right. Now we do a thing called the I took you a minute. It's a hat, right? It's weighing down on your brain, buddy. All right. So we're gonna do something special for the first Flamin' 5 in 5. Because we're gonna do the first Flamin' 5 in 5 after 5. Let me explain. Again, Cheese has no idea what's coming here, so it's about to blow his little Cheese mind here.
Uh-oh.
So I have picked 5 teams, and I will give them to Cheese in this order. They will be Philadelphia, Buffalo, Kansas City, Detroit, and then for some reason, Green Bay. And what I'm going to do, we're going to do the first Flamin' 5 in 5. I'm going to put the clock up on the board here in just a second. And I'm going to ask him what the record of these teams will be after their first 5 games. So we're going to do the first Flamin' 5 in 5 after 5. Kind of like after midnight, right? But it'll be after 5. All right, Cheese, are you ready? You understand the concept, sir?
I understand the concept. Are you going to give me the schedule, or do I have?
I will give you those 5-game schedule.
Okay.
All right, I have them. I have it right here in front of me. I have it right there on the paper. All right.
Okay.
So yes, I will give you the schedule for each team one at a time, and then you can tell me what their record is going to be after the first 5 games, and then we'll discuss if you can get it within the first 5 minutes.
Let's go.
All right. Are you ready?
LFG.
All right. So I will give you Philadelphia's schedule, and then when I'm done with the schedule, I'll start the timer. Are you ready?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. All right, that was a little bit of a letdown, but okay, perhaps.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so Philadelphia will be first. Dallas will be at Philadelphia. Then the Phillies go to Kansas City.
The Phillies.
The Rams come to them.
God, the baseball team's going to play too. The Phillies.
They will go at Tampa. And then the Browns come to them. All right, so I'll give it to you one more time, and then I'll start the timer. Here we go. It is Philly's schedule, the first 5 in 5. Here we go. Dallas will go to Philadelphia. They will go to Kansas City. The Rams come to them. They go to Tampa, and the Broncos come to them.
Ooh, brutal.
What do you got? Those 5 games, what's their record after 5?
That is probably the second hardest first 5 games in the NFL besides the Cleveland Browns. Anyone who has not seen the Cleveland Browns first 5 or 6 games, oh my God, they're probably 0-6 easy. So I'm going to go 3-2. I'm going to go 3-2 because that's brutal. And the Rams always play the Eagles well. At Tampa is tough and humid weather. Early on, you don't want to go to Tampa. Not going to be 1-4, 2-3. They're not. They're really good, the Eagles. But I think 3-2 is very realistic. And they haven't played Washington yet. Wow. Can I make a change? No, I'm just kidding. To our picks later on? No. But I'm going to go with 3-2.
3-2 after the first 5 games for Philadelphia. Now we're going to look at Buffalo. And I know I usually put music on in the background. I don't know if you guys heard it. I started to put music on in the background, and it was drowning out Cheese pretty well, so I decided to take it back off. We'll go without music today. It will be fine. We'll just listen to the wonderful tunes of Cheese's voice. Buffalo is the following. The Ravens will be at Buffalo. Of course, that is the first Sunday night game of the season. Then they go at the Jets. Miami comes to Buffalo. New Orleans comes to Buffalo.
Wow.
And the Patriots come to Buffalo. So Ravens, the Ravens are, hang on here. The Ravens are at Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to the Jets. Miami is home to Buffalo. New Orleans home to Buffalo. Patriots home to Buffalo.
That's a really advantageous early schedule. I'm going to say 4-1. I'm not going to say 5-0 to anybody, but Bills, there's no way they won't be at least 4 wins out of that.
Okay.
I think 4-1.
4-1 out of that. Kansas City is the next one. Kansas City goes at the Los Angeles Chargers. Then the Eagles come to them. They go to the Giants. Then the Ravens come to them, and they go to Jacksonville. So again, this is Kansas City's. They go at the Chargers. The Eagles come to them. They are at the Giants. The Ravens come to them, and they're at the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's their first 5.
So they're in Brazil against the Chargers. It's actually not at Los Angeles. It's a neutral game.
Okay.
I'll say this. The Giants is a trap game. It's Sunday Night Football, which why is Giants Chiefs Sunday Night Football? But it's the week before the Ravens, so it's a trap game. So I'm going to go 3-2. I'm going to say 3-2. I know they were 15-2 last year, but I don't know about the Chiefs. I don't know what to do with them because they way overachieved last year. We saw what happened in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go 3-2.
Okay. There's 2 more left, Detroit and Green Bay. Here are Detroit's first 5 games. This is kind of brutal, too. They are at Green Bay. The Bears come to Detroit. They are at Baltimore. The Browns come to them, and then they are at the Bengals. So at the Packers, Bears come to them. At the Ravens, Browns come to them. At the Bengals for their first 5.
Well, they get the Browns at home, so there you go. There's a win.
Right.
I'm going to go 3-2 as well. Lions just have such a good roster overall. They don't have like an elite quarterback, but they have such a good roster. They really do. So 3-2, probably at worst.
Okay. And last, you've got about a minute to do this one. Once I read you off the schedule, are the Green Bay Packers. The Lions are at the Packers. Then the Commanders are at home against the Packers. Then they go to Cleveland. They go to Dallas. Then, believe it or not, it's the bye. And then I went ahead and threw the 6th week in there. The Bengals are at Green Bay. So you can do it either way, sir. Lions, go ahead. Go ahead. You know the schedule.
No, I got it. I could have told you those games. Yeah. So they get a mini bye before the Browns because they play Thursday against Washington, and they get a full bye before the Bengals. Very advantageous. I keep saying advantageous. It's like the word of the day.
All right.
So 4-1. We're going 4-1.
Ooh.
I don't know which will be the loss, but I think they're 4-1 after their first 5 games. But they never play the Bengals well. That's the one that worries me, believe it or not, the most. They never, going back to Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and never play the Bengals well. So I'll go 4-1.
All right, you did it. Just barely, but you got it. Okay. All right, so you went 4-1 on the Packers, and then you went 4-1 on Buffalo. But those were the only 4-1 teams out of those 5. So is that some kind of premonition for later on? Are we gonna get something like that when we talk about the NFL? I thought that was kind of interesting.
Believe it or not, that's not my Super Bowl matchup, but one of those teams may be involved. Maybe
half a team.
They have a team in Green Bay. One of those teams may be involved in my super prediction. You'll have to stay tuned to end the show to find out. We do the big NFL predictions. I'm looking forward to this because I'm wondering how different our predictions will be.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we need to tell everybody. We didn't look at this beforehand. I did the college football stuff for today. I did the MLB stuff for today. Cheese did all of the NFL predictions except for the poll question that I did. We'll talk about that here in a few moments. So we didn't exchange what we're going to do. Neither of us have any idea what we're going to pick for any of these things. So it's going to be interesting once everything takes shape, and we'll talk more about the NFL here in just a little bit. But first, let's do the college football spread offense. And we'll start with this. I think this is going to be a weekly thing. Everybody that's on with us already, a ton of people, we certainly appreciate it. The comments are going crazy today. We'd love it for all of you. I've been plugging this show all day long, and so is Cheese, and a bunch of our other fans have been retweeting and reposting and stuff for us, which we, again, greatly appreciate. Hopefully, within the next week or so, we're going to make a big announcement that will involve myself, Cheese, and 3 other guys. What we're going to do is shock some people, but we're going to step out and do something cool. So we'll talk about that here more than likely next week. So, Cheese, I like this. I like the week 1's worst loss and the week 1's biggest victories. So that's what we're going to do first here. Let me get to the little graphic. Hold on. Look at that. Week 1's worst loss and biggest victories in college football. So for me, all right, I'll take it first here. The worst loss, Boise State and South Florida. I was picking Boise State to be in the college football playoff in the end, and they got beat like a drum in South Florida, 34-7.
Yep, I watched that whole game. Mm-hmm.
Did you? I did not. I'll ask you that here in a minute because we need to go over what all we watched this weekend too. I was going to do that in the intro and I forgot. So South Florida's quarterback had 210 yards, 43 yards rushing, 117 total yards. Boise State's quarterback was real close to him, 225 to 210, 31 rushing yards to 43 yards, 122 total yards to 117. And you're like, okay, what in the world happened? How did they lose that game so bad? Cheese, you want to let everybody know what happened?
Yep, watched every second of that game. They had 2 early fumbles, 2 first half fumbles. Absolutely killed them. South Florida took advantage of it. It was a very evenly played game for most of it, believe it or not. The score is no indication of how it went. And because of the fumbles, South Florida got ahead. And in the second half, it was very obvious the humidity got to Boise State. They ran out of gas. They are from Idaho playing in South Florida. Why would they schedule that in, I guess it was September. No, it was August. It's still August at the time. But Why would you schedule that? The immunity got them. They ran out of gas, and South Florida just put them away. But that game, I think Boise State will be okay. But the fumbles and the humidity just got to Boise State, and that's why the score is so lopsided.
Well, Boise State might be okay, but this is a huge loss for them. I don't know if they can recover enough to stay in the hunt for the college football playoff after this loss. That's why I predicted, or I put this as the week one's worst loss for me. What do you think about, can Boise State still get in the college playoff? And then give us your week one worst loss.
They can, but it reminds me of Notre Dame last year. They lost to Northern Illinois at home. It was such a horrible loss, 26.5-point favorites, but they won out. So Boise State probably has to win out at this point to get it. But I'll just say this. Ashton Gianti was the best player in college football last year. He should have won the Heisman. He's so incredible. Running back, he's now on the Raiders, drafted 6th overall. They couldn't run without him. Yeah, and there were so many runs he had where he just broke. And their offense is nothing like it was last year without him. Nothing. All right. So we appreciate you redoing the stream, sir. Thank you very much. And then to kind of set you up here, our buddy JC here also says, the worst loss is UNC and Texas. He just took my.
Yes. Are you picking one of these two?
Yes, I am definitely picking one of these two. No, Texas is not the worst loss because they played Ohio State on the road. That's tough.
Right.
That's really tough. They won the national title last year. I don't know if anybody knew that. North Carolina. What a disaster. So if anybody didn't watch last night, Monday Night Football was North Carolina TCU. North Carolina had this big hype. They hired Bill Belichick, who's won all these Super Bowls. They had 70 new players. Bill Belichick brought in his guys. They have a Hard Knocks type show. I don't know what it's called on Hulu. There's so much hype surrounding it. I'm surprised Belichick wanted that. And it was a total disaster. There's so much dysfunction there. His girlfriend, who's, probably was, born when he won his 5th Super Bowl. I don't know. She has been a disaster, demanding attention. She'll probably be all over that, that TV show. Michael Jordan was there. They hyped it up. ESPN hyped it up. They were all picking. I think Desmond Howard was the only one ESPN picked TCU. Good for him, Desmond. Pat McAfee, they were all picking North Carolina. Oh, yeah, it's Belichick. They're going to do it. He's the GOAT, and they got killed. They actually led 7-0, went down, got a touchdown, got the ball back. And you thought, okay, maybe North Carolina, maybe Belichick did something. And they got killed after that. They got outscored 48-7 the rest of the way, 29 first downs to 10. Total yards, 542 to 222. TCU ran for 258 yards. 250 yards. North Carolina had 222 total yards. Mm-hmm. TCU averaged 7.4 yards a carry. North Carolina 1.8. And Josh Hoover looked really good, the TCU quarterback. TCU played well, and we got to start talking about TCU now. Maybe. Oh, it's overreaction time, but what a disaster. The hype. It was on ESPN, all the celebrities. I laughed the entire time. I enjoyed it because I'm a Belichick hater. He's Belichick. He cheated. He's a scumbag, and I really loved it. And North Carolina might go 3-9. It'd be great. I mean, Duke will beat him. You love Duke, so. I
do. I'm a big Duke guy. You'll hear about this in a moment, but I'm on the Duke train this year. So as Roger said, I agree. Colorado had a bad loss too, but I'm not sure if it was. I mean, it was kind of expected, wasn't it, Cheese? I mean,
yeah, it could have gone either way, so it wasn't shocking. Yeah, but they didn't play well. Colorado did not play well. Yeah.
So we had our worst losses. What about our biggest victories? I'll take the first, and then I'll give it to you here in a second, Cheese. So me, Utah over UCLA. Devin Dampier, right? Isn't that how you say it?
He's pretty good.
Yeah. He balled out on this game. I watched this game. I didn't watch every second of it, but I watched a lot of it. So he was, if you guys don't know, he's a transfer from New Mexico. And I didn't know this until watching the game. They also got the New Mexico offensive coordinator to come over with him as well. There in Utah. So they got both of those. Listen to these stats, all right? This is what Dampier did. 21 of 25 for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, 87 rushing yards on top of that. And get this stat. You ready? This will make you a winner every time, ladies and gentlemen. Utah was 14 of 16 on third downs. 14 of 16 on third downs.
UC didn't say much about UCLA's defense. Insane. Like 12 of 16 is great. Like amazing. 14 of 16 tells you all you need to know how the season's going to go for UCLA.
And then after the win, Utah then vaulted or, jumped, whatever word you want to use, whatever adjective you want to put in there. So now Utah is the favorite to win the Big 12. So for those of you who are betting line people, Utah is plus 470. Texas Tech actually is second right the moment to win the Big 12 at plus 550. And then ASU at plus 600. So
Vegas loves people who bought a team like Texas Tech did. I guess they just love it. But I think it's between Utah and Arizona State and maybe one other team that I might mention soon. But,
all right. So that was my biggest victory. Cheese, what was your biggest victory in college football over the weekend?
Well, it would have been, there were 2 teams and one was Utah. So the other one, LSU. LSU went to Clemson, went to Death Valley. Basically outscored them 21-0 in the second half, 14-0, but I don't know what a catch is. I thought that was a catch. I don't even know what a catch is anymore. The Texas-Ohio State, that's a catch, right? But then the LSU one's not. I mean, somebody explain that to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what a catch is and what isn't. But they held Clemson to 31 yards rushing. You have to have run defense to win the SEC because everyone in the SEC, every single team wants to run the ball. They want to run right at you. That's what they do in the SEC. Their first downs 25-13. Time of possession, LSU versus Clemson, 37-23. I didn't know what to do with LSU. We did the college preview last week. We both didn't mention them we didn't pick them in the playoff. We also didn't mention them as like overrated. We didn't know what to do with LSU because they only returned 7 starters, but they got a lot of transfers. A lot. So it kind of like Florida State, which we'll talk about in a second, but a lot of transfers. So you don't know what to do with them. And they looked amazing. The defense looked amazing. And that veteran quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, I'm losing my thing. He looked terrific. He played outstanding. You had to get this because their schedule is pretty brutal. They have Florida at home, but they still have to play at Ole Miss, South Carolina at home, Texas A&M at home, at Alabama, at Oklahoma at the end of the year. You have to go 10-2 to make the playoff. So winning that game against Clemson is huge for them.
Yes.
Their chances went through the roof to make the playoff with that win. So LSU and Brian Kelly needed it so bad because there are a lot of LSU fans. I know some of them, they want him gone because he's not making the playoff. He hasn't. At least recently. So a big win for LSU.
Yes. There are some people in LSU who want him gone. There are some people in Tuscaloosa who want a certain coach gone too. So I'm sure we'll touch on that before this segment is done as well. So again, ladies and gentlemen, vote for us. Let us know. Tweet us over at the 643 and Out Pod. You can do that on X. You can also put us in the comments right here next to us. Raman, I'll throw this up here one more time. We certainly appreciate the comments from you. Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you very much. We appreciate it there. If Cheese didn't get a chance to look at that, I don't think he did because he was looking at his notes there. So
I missed, I got all these notes on these college football. I got way more than I even said.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff around us. I know we do. Yeah. I've seen his setup. He's seen my setup. So we've got a lot of stuff around us here. Yeah. So we appreciate all of the kind words from everyone. So I like the whole week's one worst loss, and I like the biggest victory. We may do this every week. We'll do it for a couple weeks in a row and see how it goes. And then we'll fans tell us if they like this part of it or not.
And maybe real quick, hey, what do you think? Maybe every other week we do Heisman Watch, or every third week. Maybe we do that.
Yeah, we can do that. We can throw that in there. All right, I like that. Just remind me because I got a lot of stuff going on. So remind me, and we'll make sure we do it at least every 3 weeks. So I like that. Okay, so the third thing here in our college football spread offense is going to be this. What games are you most looking forward to this week and why? Again, I'll take this one first, give you a second to look at your notes here. So for me, I mentioned this last week in our college football prediction and preview. If you guys haven't got a chance to do that, you can go to our oh my gosh, really? You're gonna make me puke.
Mug check.
Mug check. All right. Well, at least you're consistent, I guess. Yeah. So anyway,
your game is interesting. I picked a different game, but go ahead. Your game is interesting.
This game is interesting to me because it's Illinois, a team that everybody I think is really, really high on, and I'm not as high on. And then a team in Duke, where Illinois goes to Duke this week, that I am a lot higher on than most everyone else is. So I know it's a small sample size, right? It's 1 week of a sample size, but let me give you a few numbers, and this is the other reason why I picked this game. So Illinois rushing yards 209, Duke in week 1 159. Illinois passing 231, Duke 339. Illinois total yards between passing and running 440, and Duke total yards passing and running 548. Points for Illinois 52, Duke 45. Points against Illinois 3, Duke 17. What do all these numbers say to me? I can't wait to watch this shootout. These are the kind of college games I like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was happy that Ohio State won. I'm a big Ohio State guy. But if I'm going to watch a game, I don't want to watch a defensive struggle necessarily. I want to see a shootout where they just throw the ball and run the tar out of it and just run it down people's throats. And I really think Illinois and Duke has the opportunity to create a game like that. And that's what I want to see this coming Saturday during college football's week 2. So, Cheese, what is your game that you are looking most forward to this weekend?
You must have loved Miami last year because they got in shootouts just about every week. But I get why you think Illinois is overhyped. Vegas agrees with you. They're only favored by 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas either agrees with you or both ways, maybe. So that's not a big spread for a team that's ranked 12th. So,
right.
I'm going to go with Iowa State. I think it's a rivalry, obviously, but I think it's way bigger than that. Both of them have very favorable schedules. And we know all you need to do is pretty much go 10-2. Iowa State might have to go 11-1, but that's pretty much all you need to get in the playoff. 3-loss teams like Alabama and South Carolina last year, Ole Miss, they didn't get in. They lost 3 games. Committee did not like that. So Iowa State, they've already beat Kansas State. Okay. They have Arizona State at home. They're at TCU. That could be tough, but their schedule is at Colorado. Colorado doesn't look so good. If they beat Iowa, they are in great shape. They're the three teams that I'm looking at for the Big 12 title is Utah, Arizona State, and Iowa State. Pretty much the winner of Iowa State, Arizona State could be the winner. So that's what I'm looking at. Their schedule is just not that tough. Penn State, but it's at home. They do play Oregon, but it's at home. They play Indiana. It's at home. The 3 really good teams they play are at home. If they beat Iowa State, they only probably need to win 2 of those 3 games and win out. And they're 10-2, and they're probably getting in the playoffs. So I think that game means so much more than anyone is realizing, and it's a huge rivalry. So I'm looking forward to that game. That's the early game on Saturday.
All right, so Out of Rhythm Fantasy agrees with you there. I like this. Iowa State has the better team over the Hawkeyes this weekend, so he likes your game as well. And then he asks a question here. Let's interact with our fans for a minute, Cheese. Freshman quarterbacks, I assume. Thoughts on realm of college football you like or dislike more freshmen starting? So what do you think about freshmen starting these games, especially in week 1?
I like it. Do it. If he's your best chance now and the future, for the future, obviously the freshman's probably the better chance, but if you're torn at all, play the young guy, play the freshman. I love it. I love when Matthew Stafford at Georgia. I still remember he played. He might have sat out like 3 or 4 games, but he played his freshman year. I like it. Play the freshman.
Okay. And you guys, man, all of you that are listening to us right the moment, if you have a question for us, as long as you're talking about what we're talking about, I mean, don't wait for us to get into the NFL and then ask us a college football question later, because to be honest with you, I'll just ignore it. All right. But as long as you talk about what we're talking about, we will interact with you. We love it when you guys do this. I also want to bring back JC here for a second, and I want to talk about Lee Corso. Man, that was fantastic. I didn't get a chance to watch it live because I was at work, but I did record it and watch it later. The way Ohio State fans, bravo to you guys. The way the Ohio State fans reacted to all of that, the marching band printed out his name on the field and everything else. Man, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Talk to me a minute about Lee Corso and what he means to college football, Chiefs.
It's when I was younger, I actually would watch the College Game Day for that. I wanted to see the helmet. It was just fun. Put the mascot head on. It was fun. So I used to watch it for that. Obviously, I watch it for different reasons now, but he had a really good week of pick. He got every game right. He picked Florida State to beat Alabama. The dude, he nailed every single pick. He's the only one in the panel. So he went out, could not have gone out better. I mean, it was pretty incredible. And I knew he was going to pick Ohio State. It was the first one he ever did. And obviously it was a coin flip game. So I knew he was going to pick Ohio State. It almost like helped the team, like it got everybody energized. You know, Arch Manning's terrible game helped as well. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's end of an era. And I wish Pat McAfee would do they're not going to do it, the mascot thing. I still like the mascot thing. It doesn't have to be Corso. I wish McAfee would do it. Probably not, but it's a shame we're not going to see that anymore.
I don't know. I kind of like it that it was just Lee Corso's thing, and when Lee Corso's done, the mascot head's done. I don't know. I kind of like that feel to it. So I understand why nobody wants to carry on that tradition. That's just something for Lee Corso. I kind of like it that way.
He could have passed the torch, but I get it.
All right, so we've done week one's worst loss. We've done week one's biggest victory. What game that Cheese and I are both looking forward to this week, and we're going to conclude our college football spread offense show. This segment of the show right now with this question.
Okay.
And we'll put it up here on the board. Which of these teams that lost fall out of the top 10? Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama. And by the way, you can choose more than one, sir. Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama. Which one of them would you have fall out of the top 10 this week?
Texas played the best team in the country, probably on the road, not them. Notre Dame played Miami, who looks to be much better than I thought, especially defensively. Miami looked great. Those are tough games on the road. Alabama lost to a team that won 2 games last year and got dominated up front on both sides of the ball. So Alabama, I wouldn't put Alabama in my top 25 if I was doing my rankings right now. They look like shit. Excuse my language.
Wow.
They look like.
So you're going to drop them all. They were ranked 8th, I believe, right? So you would literally drop them. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. Didn't you pick Alabama to win the entire thing?
I did. And you picked them in the SEC?
I did.
I looked at, they had a lot coming back, and yes. I like their skill position players. I really like that young quarterback. And they have 2 really good receivers. You know, Ty Simpson was running for his life. The young quarterback, his name is Ty Simpson. He was running for his life, and the offensive line stunk. The defensive line stunk. They're going to struggle with Florida State. They're going to struggle in the SEC. And I think Kalen DeBoer is just done a terrible job. And he was not the right hire. And his team was not ready. And they got hit in the mouth. And it's embarrassing. And I don't know. Obviously, I can figure it out. But I just don't know how they're going to survive an SEC schedule and even come close to making the playoff based on what I saw on that field.
Yeah, so we like the variety now, according to Out of Rhythm Fantasy. Thank you for your comment. I saw JC's got one up about Alabama. Let's throw it up here.
It's kind of nice if Alabama just wins like 6 or 7 games and just falls off. It'd be hilarious.
Well, now I want to get people to go over to your channel for a second, not right this minute, right? After this show, go over to @footballwithcheese on YouTube. It's also on our spot if you're already listening to us on X right now, and you just want to scroll down the timeline a little bit. You'll see it on our timeline as well at the 643 and Out Pod. Cheese does a really good job explaining why that was the wrong hire for Alabama, and goes through a lot of that stuff. I didn't know some of those things before you said them, and I didn't watch that game very much. I saw the highlights. I didn't watch any of the actual game live. So Cheese, let me ask you this: how many college football games did you watch in their entirety over the weekend?
I don't remember. You see my setup. I have 2 TVs set up. So I was watching Tennessee, Syracuse. At the same time, I was watching Texas, Ohio State. So I don't know, to be honest with you, but more than 10. And but yeah, check out @Football with Cheese. I break down, the big games, and I go over Kalen DeBoer, why he was the wrong choice. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about it now; take too long. But check out @Football with Cheese, CHEEZ, and check out that video.
Fantastic. All right, thank you guys for all of your comments. We will continue to put them up here on the board with us. It makes the show fantastic when you guys come on here with us and give us a lot of stuff as well. So we thank you and appreciate that. Let's go to Major League Baseball here for just a few moments. We're going to go to MLB 4-pitch talk. I hope I can do this without knocking all of my notes over. There we go. Oh, look at that. Did it. All right. Cheese, you've got 2 big MLB teams. You root for the Cubs. We talked about the Cubs last week. For those of you who haven't seen last week's show, we did our college football preview and predictions last week. We also talked about the Cubs as well. And then your second team that you root a lot for are the Braves. So why are the Braves making so many waiver claims? What's going on with the Atlanta Braves right now?
One of the reasons I'm getting so many texts, my phone keeps buzzing, is because the Braves are playing the Cubs. And people want to keep informing me what's going on. So Alex Anthopoulos inherited a very good team when he became the general manager years ago, maybe 5 years ago. John Hart built the team, former Indians GM. He built the team. He rebuilt it, focused on the draft, prospects, trades. And Alex Anthopoulos added to it. And they won the World Series in 2021. And since then, Alex Anthopoulos has been terrible. He's a terrible GM. He needs to be fired. I don't understand what they're doing. I knew middle of May, this Braves team wasn't good. They're not good. They're a bad team. They're one of the worst 5 teams in baseball. Not going to get into why, but they're bad. And he keeps thinking they're like the 2021 team. Oh, we're a little under 500 in June. Maybe we'll just turn it around and rally, win the World Series. They're 14 games under 500, and they had a really good stretch, and they're still 14 games under 500. I don't understand this, and he just claimed a player on waivers that is a $16 million player option last year, and there's nowhere to play him. He's an infielder. Yes. The infield is full, so they're already over the luxury tax. He might be the worst GM in baseball right now. He's definitely had the worst year ever. When you're bad, you're bad, you sell. And I don't understand what's going through his mind, but he's an idiot and he needs to be let go. And I don't know why he thinks this. They have 76 losses. If they went out, they win 86 games. If they went out, what are you doing?
Right. I don't understand it. So the player you're talking about, Ha-Sung Kim, is who you're talking about.
Yes.
He signed a 2-year contract with Tampa Bay at $29 million for the 2 years, and his 2026 contract will be $16 million. So far this year, maybe you want to hold on to your cheese hat for a second. He's played he has played 24 games so far this year, and he has hit .214 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. And that was the guy they picked up yesterday. Ha-Sung Kim was with San Diego for his career so far, besides what he's played with Tampa Bay. He debuted for them in 2021, and these are his career stats. Again, this is the guy that you picked up for $16 million next year. Hang on to the cheese hat there. Put a finger in a hole on each side or something there, right? So he's batted 242, 47 home runs, and this is since 2021, right? 47 home runs, 200 RBIs, and 78 stolen bases. So not great numbers. Oh, hang on, I got to stop for a second. We're at half 100, by the way. So we're already at 50 people live with us right now here on the Sportz Truth. Myself, Mike Ballantyne, and my buddy Cheese over here with, I'm sure you can figure out which one's Cheese. Not only did they just pick up Ha-Seong Kim, earlier they picked up Cal Quantrill, pitcher. Has he done anything for your Braves?
Who?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He sucks.
Then they picked up the Reds. Yeah, he's not that great. The next guy I love. I love him because of what he means, his religious background and stuff like that. Great guy. They picked up Jake Fraley earlier. The Reds released him, and they picked up Jake Fraley. But has he done anything for your Braves?
I have no idea.
The answer is no, by the way.
No.
And as you have already
that's why I said I have no idea. Yeah.
Right. He's like, I don't know. I mean, like I said, great guy. Don't get me wrong. I love Jake Fraley. I'm sure if Roger and Ricky are still listening, they may pipe up on something with Jake Fraley here. In fact, that might be one of the comments that we've got over here. Let me go over and see. Nope, this is just a LOL. So, yes. And by the way, going back here for just a second, this will be one of the few times I do it. We did talk about USC and how bad that opener was.
I went off.
Just go back and rewatch, sir. You'll certainly see it. All right. So like the pitchers are just there to go through the season, and Kim's just a poor signing.
Well, the Braves did the Rays a favor. Yeah, the Braves did the Rays a huge favor by claiming him, like
by getting him out of that money.
How can you let the Rays off the hook like that? That's crazy. I know Austin Riley's hurt, right? But if they were in contention, if they were 14 games over 500. Would have made sense. Right. I still wouldn't have liked it, but it would have made sense. Okay, he can play third. Riley's hurt, but they're one of the worst teams in baseball. They should have sold. They should be putting people on waivers to get rid of contracts, to get under the luxury tax, and they should hope to win the lottery next year. They should be trying to get more lottery balls. It's insane, and I wish I owned the Braves. Alex Anthopoulos would already be fired.
I wish you owned the Braves too. I'm banking this show would have more followers if you did.
Yeah,
right.
But Taylor Swift would be banned from the stadium.
Did you see that I should have put that tweet out there earlier. I saw it where they said that the male cheerleaders from Minnesota were banned. They couldn't come to Chicago this weekend because they thought that it would distract Caleb Williams. Anyway,
yes, that was hilarious. I
saw that. That was pretty good.
I was crying.
I knew you'd like that. So, the Braves currently are 62-76. They're 18 games back in the division. And if you're hoping, they're not that far back in the wild card, right? Yes, they are. They're 12 games back in the wild card. So again, Braves.
With a month to go.
I don't understand what you're doing. And this leads me to this, because I was going to talk about this too. Thanks, JC. Appreciate that, buddy. They're like a double-A team. They're overrated. And Snitker.
Correct. I agree with everything he just said.
Right. So here's what I want to close with as far as the Braves talk. I want to get your opinion on this because I have mine. Do you think Snitker comes back next year, or is he going to hang it up and be done?
Well, Alex Anthopoulos overrated. So overrated. Like I said, he kind of lucked into a World Series. He didn't build those teams. John Hart did. But Snitker is not a good manager. He's very liked by the players. Very great locker room coach. Terrible strategy-wise. He gets outmanaged in a lot of games. He needs to just retire. He's very old. And I'm not sure if he will. Honestly, a lot of people expect him to just retire, but he's not going to retire unless they fire him. He just doesn't want to. He loves it. So I hope so. They need a better manager than him. And there's a rumor David Ross would be very interested in the job.
Yeah, I like David Ross. I actually got a really good book. I have it over there on my shelf. Very, very nice book, by the way, for those of you who love baseball the way I do. It's a fantastic read. So we're going to do this. Next, We are going to, let me find the right spot. There it is. We're going to do MLB races like presidential races. So we've got basically 1 month left in the season, and we're going to look at these races, and we're going to decide, can we call it? It's over. Is it too close to call, or are we going to pick an upset? Those are the three things that we are going to look at, and the three. Let's see here. Let me pull up JC real quick. He's a frequent guy, so let's do this. Like they're hoping for next year, everyone's healthy. Guess what? Sale going to be older. The court, yeah. So there is an age thing here too that neither one of us mentioned. I agree. There is an age thing right there too. So they are getting older. It's not like they're a young team and they're trying to add other young players to it.
They could have well, Sale was hurt, but they could have imagine what they would have gotten from Sale at the deadline if he was healthy and rebuilt it, because the Braves have one of the worst farm systems in baseball, bottom 5. So, and they're a bad team. That's not a good combination. That was the White Sox a couple of years ago. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're not lying. I was thinking that you were going to do a little more there. See, I'm switching to MLB there at the bottom. That's what I was doing. I was like, where's that graphic at? I was looking for it while you were talking. So, all right, again, we're going to do the MLB races like a presidential race. So let me give you an example here. We can do call it, too close, or upset. So the National League East, the Phillies have a 6-game lead over the Mets, but they do have 4 games in New York before the end of the season. So I'm going to ask you, can we call it? The Phillies are going to do it? Is it too close to call, or are we going to go for an upset saying that New York is going to overtake Philly in the National League East?
Well, the Mets are a better candidate than Kamal Harris, that's for sure. But we're gonna Phillies has some injuries to pitching, but we're gonna call it for Philly. 6 in 1 month is tough. Even let's just put it this way: say there's I don't know how many games left, 24, maybe just Phillies.
Yeah.
Even if they go 12-12, just say the Phillies go 12-12, that means the Mets have to go 18-6 to tie them, and that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to call it for Philly.
Okay. Now we're going to look at the National League West. The Dodgers have a 2.5 game lead over the Padres, but they don't play each other anymore for the rest of the season. So what can we do here? 2.5 game lead, Dodgers over the Padres. Calling it, it's too close, or we're going to go for the upset and say the Padres will beat the Dodgers for that division crown before it's all said and done.
We talked about this a few weeks back. It looked like the Padres were going to take it. They were playing good, and but it's still too close, 2.5. Too close. The Padres have a really good roster, so way too close to call at this point.
Now they did lose Adams yesterday to a torn, I believe, a ruptured Achilles. Actually, was what it was. So that's a big blow to their bullpen. But I'm still going to say that the Padres will overtake this. So I'm going to go the upset still. I'm sticking with it. Okay. By the way, I would agree with you on the Phillies. I don't think the Mets can overtake the Phillies. So now let's go to the National League Central. The Brewers have a 5.5 game lead over the Cubs, and the Brewers and the Cubs do not play each other anymore for the rest of the season. 5.5 game lead, the Brewers over the Cubs. So what are we saying? Are we calling it? Is it too close, or are we going for the upset? Oh, this is killing him right now.
I mean, it's not close. The Cubs' schedule is so cupcake, though. They're going to win a lot more games because of the schedule. Cubs have beat up on bad teams this year. They have, and that's the way they're built. So they're not really, to me, built. We talked about this multiple times for the postseason. I don't think they're going to have a long postseason run, but they're built to beat bad teams. And I don't think they'll win the division. I don't, but I think they still have a shot.
Okay, so you're saying too close to call?
I'm saying in between too close to call and call it.
Oh, here we go. Can't make a decision because it's his Cubs. I'm just going to call it for you, all right? The Brewers are going to win the National League Central.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the American League. So the American League East, this has become an interesting division race here. This has become pretty interesting here lately. The National League East, the Jays are 2.5 games over the Yankees and the Sox. So, but here's the interesting part to it. The Jays play 3 more in New York, and the Sox come to the Blue Jays for 3 more games before it's all said and done there. So there's a bunch of stuff happening here. Mm-hmm. Do we say call it? It's too close, or do we go for the upset?
I'm not going for the upset. I still think the Blue Jays are going to take it. I really like this Blue Jays team. I'm calling it for the Blue Jays. Why not? I'm calling it. They're going to take it. Yes. Blue Jays win the American League East.
Wow. So 2.5 games left. You're calling it for the Blue Jays right now.
Bold prediction. We got some more bold predictions coming later on about the NFL. But yeah, I'm calling it for the Blue Jays.
Okay, and we do have bold predictions for the NFL later on in the show as we do our preview and prediction for the NFL. We will have those here in just a couple minutes. Let's move on. You know what? I'm not willing to do that.
I know it's bold.
It is bold. Now, I don't like how New York is set up as far as a team goes, but I do kind of like how Boston's set up. I like this younger, hungry Boston team that's coming up from behind right there. They've been way back there for a while, and they just keep getting closer and keep getting closer. And the momentum is coming. So I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to say it's too close for the Yankees, but I am going to say that it's too close for the Boston Red Sox. That's how I'm going to go with that one. So the AL Central, Detroit has a 9-game lead over the Royals, and they don't play each other anymore for the rest of the season. 9-game lead over the Royals. Do the Tigers? Are we going to call it? Are we going to say it's too close? Or are we going to really go out on a limb and say some kind of upset's coming?
No one's ever come from a 9-game lead with a month ago, so it's called. It's done. It's not even going to be close. Yeah. No more needed said. Yeah. All
right, so we're going to go ahead and call it. I agree with you. There's no, I don't want to say there's no way, but no. It's going to be when the snowball falls down into the bad place below, it's going to have to really be frozen for that to happen, right? And the last, actually, we'll do the wild cards here in just a second too, but the last division. So Houston has a 3-game lead over Seattle right now. Now, this is not counting today's games that they've already gone final, and some of them have. So Houston has a 3-game lead over Seattle and a 4.5-game lead over Texas. Here's the catch. They play Seattle at Houston 3 times. And are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
And I know that I'm trying to get to all these comments here too, guys. I really am here. I'll click on all of them. We'll get to everybody. It's a one guy show over here on the side. All right, I'm clicking and doing all kinds of stuff here. So Houston has a 3-game lead over Seattle, 4.5-game lead over Texas. And the only reason that I included in Texas in this whole thing was because Texas and Houston play 6 more times before the end of the season. 3 in Houston, 3 in Texas. So what are we going to go with here, buddy? Is it too close to call? Can we go ahead and call it? Or are we going to go with an upset? Either Seattle or Texas will overtake Houston before it's all said and done.
Too close to call. Astros are losing 6-0 Yankees right now. It's just too close to call. Blue Jays won, by the way, beat the Reds. Red Sox, we did this a few weeks ago. I said Houston would hold on. I really do think Houston's a little better than the Mariners, but yeah, it's too close to call. Mariners could overtake them. I don't think they will, but they could.
I would give Texas a better shot if they hadn't lost so many people over the last week or so. They've lost 2 major pitchers. They've also lost Seager. I know when they were playing the Diamondbacks yesterday, Seager didn't play. Simeon didn't play. So, I mean, there's some injuries out there, and I'm not sure how long those guys are going to be out for. But I do like Seattle, and I'm going to call for the upset on this one too. I've said it since the beginning. I think Seattle's going to end up overtaking them before it's all said and done. So I'm going for the upset there. Let's go back to the National League and look at the wild card. So the wild card is, and again, this will not reflect today's games. All right, I want everybody to understand that. So all these notes and stuff were done earlier today. So the wild card is as of end of play yesterday. Cubs were the first wild card team. They're 5 games up. The Padres are the second wild card team, 2 games up. The Mets are the third, and of course, since they're the third, they're even. And then here are the teams that are underneath. And this is where we're going to look at either calling it too close or the upset. So the Reds are 4 games out. The Giants are 5. The D-backs and Cardinals are both 6.5. Can any of those 4 teams creep up there and overtake the Mets?
No. The Reds are now 5 out. Mets 1. Reds lost, so it's 5 now. No, it's just too much. The Reds either needed to sell at the deadline or just go for it. The Reds, you know them better than me, but they just there's some really good, but there's just some like they remind me of the Cubs the last 2 years, winning 83, 84 games, but just you can tell they're close, but maybe next year, but they're just not quite there. So in the National League, no. American League, never count out the Royals. Never count out the Royals, but probably not. I still think that, obviously 3 teams in American League East are going to make the postseason. I still think Seattle or Houston, those will hang on. So I don't think the teams are going to change.
All right. Well, let me do this thing real quick for the Reds here. Yes, the Reds are 5 out, but they do play the Mets in Cincinnati this weekend. So a 3-game series this weekend, Mets and Reds. So I'm going to say it's too close to call until that series is over. Let me see where we're at after this weekend, and then let's jump over to the American League. So the Yankees are 3.5 up. The Red Sox are also 3.5 up because obviously they're tied for that top wild card spot. And then you've got the Mariners in the 3rd spot. The Rangers are 1.5 games back. The Royals, that you have already said, hey, never count them out. They're 2.5 back. The Guardians are at 4 back, and the Rays are at 4.5 back. So can either the Rangers, Royals, Guardians, or Rays catch the Mariners or the Astros, depending on who wins that division?
No, I think it's going to be Red Sox, Yankees, Mariners is the wild card teams, because I think obviously Toronto's going to win it. Texas with the injuries, Kansas City's got a shot, but no, I don't. I think the Astros and Mariners both make it, and I have one more point, but I just lost it. Oh, the Reds, they need to sweep the Mets. If they sweep the Mets, changes everything. But even winning 2 or 3, they would still be 4 out of the last wild card. So you sweep them, changes everything. So
it changes momentum more than it does numbers. Yeah. So,
but two out after that, it's anyone's game. 2 games is nothing. 5 is huge, but 2 is nothing. Yes.
All right, our last thing here in our MLB 4-pitch talk. Let me get this banner off of here real fast. Let's hide it. Go back to what we've got underneath of us there so everybody can know where to go to get a hold of us at the 643 and Out Pod for me, at Football with Cheese for you. Now, I know you also do some Packers articles on a website. Tell us about that while I set up this last question for MLB, sir.
Yeah, PackersTalk.com. If you go there, you can look at my articles. They're released one a week. Packers with an S, PackersTalk.com. And I go over, Green Bay Packer related news, and I look at trends. I don't just report what's happening. I look for trends, and I look at the big picture. I use analytics. So check out PackersTalk.com.
All right. So now your articles come out every Monday, right?
Typically every Monday. May change, but right now, yes, every Monday.
Okay. All right. We'll look forward to those, sir. So the last thing here, why are the Mariners calling up catching prospect Harry Ford with the season that Cal Raleigh is having? Why are they bringing up a 3rd catcher?
I think one reason wasn't only, I think you'd probably agree. Raleigh, catching wears on a player. Mm-hmm. When you catch a lot, it can wear on you, can wear down, it can affect your hitting because you're always in that stance. They want Raleigh to DH probably a lot in September. They're thinking postseason, and you have 3 catchers, you can use him as the DH. So I think they might want to only use him as the primary catcher, maybe half the games, and he'll DH the others. It just less wear and tear. I think that's the only reason. And of course, Harry Ford's a really good prospect too. Really good. Not like okay, he's a really good prospect.
Yeah, he is. He's a really good prospect.
Do you
I hope that he's in the Arizona Fall League this year. I'm really gonna go for his autograph. But yes, he's a fantastic prospect.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Do you like carrying 3 catchers on a normal? I mean, if it's not September, if it's beginning, middle of the season, are you a 3 catcher guy, or do you like 2 catchers?
3 catcher guy. Especially National League, there's no longer the pitchers hitting. Mm-hmm. When the pitchers hit, you had to have a deep bench. You would use guys a lot. And now you don't have to. So you can carry 3 catchers. I like it. The Cubs were doing it for a while until Miguel Amaya got hurt. And what you can do is if you have like a really good hitting catcher and he's not starting that day, you can use him as a pinch hitter. They bring in a lefty or righty, depending, and you still have another catcher on the bench. So it's a huge advantage if you have 3 catchers that are, at major league caliber type catchers. So I like it. And in the postseason, a lot of teams will, use the 3rd catcher on their roster. So I think it's great. Go for it.
Yeah, certainly understanding in the postseason, especially if, because usually the way it works is one catcher is your offensive guy, right? And he starts for you, or maybe he'll DH for you. The other catcher is for defense, and sometimes you'll bring him in the end, especially if you've got the sinker slider guy that's your closer, and you've got runners on, you don't want them advancing on a pass ball or something like that. So you bring in your best defensive catcher, and then you've got to have that 3rd guy just to be able to have someone as a backup in case something happens. So I get it in the postseason, and like right now at the end of the season, I certainly get it. I'll tell you, the Reds need to do it. They've got Jose Trevino, Tyler Stevenson's hurt right at the moment. I mean, I know he caught Chase Burns today, and he'll probably start a rehab assignment tomorrow. But they've got a catcher in Banfield who has caught like 1 major league game. So they're scared to put him back there, which I don't understand that either. Why bring a guy up if you're scared to play him? That makes no sense to me. But anyway, I don't want to get into those weeds too much here. I'll go back to Seattle and the whole Ford and Mitch Garver is their 2nd catcher. So
that's a pretty good catching room. That's a really good.
It's a heck of a catching room. It certainly is. Yes. And that's one of the reasons why I was a little stunned I was asked this question on X. So that's the reason why we're putting it in the show today. Do you like rewarding Ford? He's a 22-year-old. Let me give you some of his stats in the minors this year. So his slash line, 283, 408, 460. That's pretty darn good, right?
Yes.
16 home runs, 18 doubles, 74 RBIs in 458 plate appearances. So again, 16 home runs, 18 doubles, 74 RBIs. Do you like rewarding the 22-year-old prospect in September with a call-up?
I mean, I don't necessarily think rewarding, but you get this September call-up, so you bring up what gets you the best chance to win in October, because Seattle's right in it. If the season ended today, they'd be in the postseason, and his bat obviously can play. He can hit. So you can DH him in the postseason. You can put Raleigh at catcher.
Yes.
So you can use him as DH. You can, based on lefty righty, you can pinch hit him, and you have a 3rd catcher, then he doesn't have to go in the field. Someone else can just go in the field. So it's, a bat like that is very valuable.
Yes. So let me give you some numbers real quick, and then we'll move into what we've all been waiting for, is our NFL preview and prediction part of the show. We will continue that from now until the end of the show. So against lefties, Raleigh is 278 batting average with a 1.037 OPS, which is fantastic. Garver against lefties, so Garver does a 252 batting average and 772 on base plus slugging as well. So you can start one and DH the other one against lefties, right? And then Ford against righties is 296. Looking at I got thing covering up my notes so his slash line is 298, 423, 458. So now you've got a guy coming off the bench, and that can also go to righties. And you said it, right? If they bring in a right-hander and they start a left-hander, then you can swap and you can bring Ford in. So I really do think that Seattle's got a method for their madness. And I think this will be something small, but has the potential to win them a game or two just by bringing up Ford.
I think so too. And like I said, catching can wear on you. And you need Cal Raleigh's bat in the lineup. So I think he's going to DH more than people expect down the stretch. I wouldn't be surprised if he only catches half the games. And, Mitch Garver's going to have to get some starts too. So you're going to have to use a DH. And you're not calling up Harry Ford to not play. You're not calling him up to play once a week. So, they're going to play all 3.
Right. So, I like the move, but like I said, I was asked this question on X, and I really want to make sure that we talk to our fans and we give them a lot of what they're asking for. So I went ahead and put it on the show today. Here is our X poll question that we will jump into our NFL talk. So most of you guys know that here over the last few days, they have a lot of teams have named their captains, and a lot of teams name multiple captains. How many captains should you have on one NFL team? Cheese, I'll let you take this one for a second. How many captains do you think they should have on one NFL team?
Not as many as most teams do. Some teams have like 5 or 7. One thing I just cannot stand is just giving a rookie, because he's a quarterback, the captain. Yeah, okay. Did it work out with Jaden Daniels? It did. I still don't think he should have been a captain. It was a disaster with Caleb Williams making him a captain. He's immature. He's got an attitude when things don't go well. He lays on the bench. He's a little bitch, little baby. And but once you give him a captain, you can't take it away. So he's got to stay a captain. Cam Ward's a captain. I think it's a mistake. So just because someone's a quarterback, they don't have to be a captain, especially right away. They should earn it. They should third or fourth year before they should be a captain. And one of the reasons I think that these rookie quarterbacks is like we have 7 captains. How many people need to, say heads or tails? I would have an offensive, a defensive, and a special teams voted by the players. That's it. 3.
So I'm gonna look at our poll question here. We've had over 100 people look at it so far. There's a lot of votes. So go ahead and come out there and vote real quick before I give what our fans are saying. You can go over to @the643&out-pod and place your vote. So you can go 1, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, or 5 and over. So I will tell you that each one of those has gotten at least some votes today. So I think it's kind of interesting. I want to say this. I'm in kind of the middle management where I work at. Some there's probably some people that are at my work that are listening right now. They just laughed. But that's where I would consider myself. I'm in the middle part, right? And I say all the time, and I hear people that I supervise all the time say, "Oh, we've got way too many Chiefs and not enough Indians." Okay, I 100% get that, and I think a lot of these football teams do the same thing. 7, 18 captains. I'm for 1. There can only be 1 captain.
Oh, captain, my captain.
Yeah, there's only 1 in my opinion. The biggest reason that I might choose 3, you said it a few minutes ago. I'll give you that. Maybe 1 on offense, 1 on defense, 1 on special teams.
Those are the 3 units of the team.
Right, because that's why 3 units. Correct. Mm-hmm. 3 would be my max. Yeah. I would never have more than 3, because the other thing you have to think about is, not only do you have, these people that you put the C on their chest, right? That C should be earned, first of all. Mm-hmm. That's a prestigious honor to have that C on your chest. It's like having the Navy SEAL on a Marine or something like that. That's a badge of honor that you have earned by doing something. It's not just because you showed up, or it's not just because you make the most money or anything like that, right? You should have to earn that C on that jersey. So I think it's interesting how some of these, and I think everybody that I saw today has at least 6 captains on their team. And I'm like, how in the world can you have 6 captains on your team? So I just thought it was interesting. Let me go to our poll question here. So again, you can choose 1, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, and 5 plus. Let me hit refresh real quick to make sure we have the up to the minute results on it here. And I want to thank you guys. We are currently, we follow over 7,200 people, and we are currently the 4th highest rated podcast going on X right at the moment as far as sheer volume numbers, and we appreciate you guys tuning in to us. So 1 got 10%, 2 to 3 and 3 to 5 are each tied with 40%, and 5 or over are saying 10% as well. So I guess, Cheese, not everybody agrees with us. They want to see a lot of players here. One thing I want to do here real fast, because I saw this earlier, NFL Nerd a verified account. If you want to go to it, it's at Nerding on NFL is the X handle, at Nerding on NFL. I will certainly give them their props. So we, you know that NFL does the top 100 players, and here it is by team. So the following teams have 0 players in the top 100.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Carolina, yes. Okay. Carolina, Chicago, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and Tennessee. None of those teams have anyone in the top 100, which was just absolutely shocking to me.
Chicago has 0. And all these people are picking them to be this breakout playoff team. They don't have one time. The players vote for this. If you don't know this, the players know, like, I don't necessarily agree with the top 100. You know, there's some people that are higher than they should be just based on what I watch, but to have 0, the Bears. Oh my God.
Carolina, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and Tennessee. There are 5 teams that have none of them. There are 2 more teams that only have 1.
DeForest Buckner, Colts defensive tackle, should be a top 100 player. He might be top 50. That's crazy, but you know, I think the better your team does, the more people will think in your minds.
Yeah.
You know, the Colts weren't very good last year, but God, DeForest Buckner not being on there, it's crazy. That's crazy. He's such a good defensive tackle.
So the teams that only have 1, New Orleans and the New York Jets, they only have 1 apiece. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 teams that only have 2 in the top 100. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 14 teams in the NFL that either have 0, 1, or 2 players each in the top 100. That's crazy. And the teams that only have 2, Cleveland, Dallas, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Miami, New York Giants, and Seattle. There are 3 teams that have 3, Arizona, Atlanta, and Buffalo. There are 1, 2,
Buffalo
3,
only
4,
3.
5,
Interesting. That's interesting.
Okay. Only 3 for Buffalo.
Okay.
There are 7 teams that have 4, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Denver, the Chargers, the Rams, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh all have 4. There are 5 teams that have 5, Green Bay, Kansas City, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, Washington. There's 1 team that has 6, Houston. There's 1 team that has 7, Detroit. No team has 8. No team has over 9, but 1 team does have 9. The only team we've left out. And it's going to prove your point. You know, if you're the most popular team and people think you've done a really good job, then they're going to put you there. So yes, the Eagles are the only team that has 9. Again, just thought that was kind of interesting here. I know you want to talk about Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers and all of that and Dallas. Let's do it, buddy. Let's start. Okay. Now we've got 60 people live with us right now on the Sportz Truth. Let's look at our NFL preview and prediction. Go ahead, bud.
So Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. Did you know that? I mean, you know, so that happened. It's still hard to believe. I wasn't expecting it, even though there was a rumor. Did you think it was possible when you heard the rumor, and how shocked were you?
I mean, anything's possible, but I was pretty shocked. I remember seeing it for the first time on Twitter, and the first account that I saw it on as I'm scrolling down through my timeline was not a verified account. And I'm like, oh, this is just some stupid rumor again. Here we go with all of this stuff. And then I start sliding down through, and it's popping up everywhere. It's popping up again. So it's like, wow, did this really happen? And then I went over to a few of my trusted sites and took a look, and it's like, yeah, that really just happened. So I was relatively shocked. My shock scale was probably 6.5 out of 10.
He did like the Packers team on Instagram. Basically a little more than 24 hours before, maybe 26, 27 hours before it broke. And when I saw that, I thought he was just doing it as a dig to Jerry Jones. I really didn't buy it. I was not going to get my hopes up, But it was interesting that he did that. And now I know that's probably when his agent told him this will not stay in my ear. It's probably when his agent told him, we got a deal done with Green Bay. You just got to figure out compensation with Dallas. That's my guess. And I should have seen it coming probably at that point. So do you think the Packers gave up too much? Do you think the Cowboys didn't get enough, or was it just about right? What do you think?
All right. So if you would have asked me this question when it first happened, I would have told you that Dallas didn't get enough. Since then, there's a big thing with the injury of Micah Parsons, and that has changed my opinion as of today. So I think that when you're going to pay someone that kind of money, and there is that kind of an injury risk, especially an injury risk to his back, I believe it's his, I want to say it's his L4 and L5, and there was the big thing. There was the big thing where he was laying on the table on the sidelines, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's just ticked off at the team. Look at him laying on the table and all that." Turns out that's what they wanted him to do, because they had just given him a treatment, I guess, right before that game, and they didn't want to come out and say that, of course. So because of that injury risk, I'm going to say Dallas was smart to get rid of him. And I know you're the Green Bay guy, obviously, but I'm not going to pay a guy that kind of money with that kind of injury risk.
So I get it. He did pass the physical with Green Bay, so they obviously are not worried about it. And I'll say this: from what I read, a lot of players have back injections like he had. A lot of players have this. It's not really talked about much in the NFL, but it's actually very common from what I've read. People get injections all the time before games. It is concerning, but I don't think the Packers make this trade if they think this is going to be a long-term issue. I still think the Cowboys didn't get enough because these are going to be late first-round picks. Mm-hmm. And Kenny Clark.
Well, you hope so, right?
It will be. And Kenny Clark just isn't the same player he used to be. He's coming off a down year. He's about to be 30. And it sounds like, if you believe Jerry Jones, which I don't know if you believe, he lies sometimes. They really wanted a defensive tackle. That was one of their focuses in the draft, or the draft in the trade, is to get a defensive tackle. And he just wasn't great last year for Green Bay. And he had been, 3-time Pro Bowler, but it's been 2 years since he made a Pro Bowl. And I still think that he'll be fine. Obviously, we'll see what happens with the back injury, but I still think the Cowboys should have gotten more. So,
right. Well, I mean, Jerry Jones can say what he wants, and he's gonna say something that makes his team look good, right? It's kind of like when the team in baseball makes a trade for a guy and the guy ends up being not near as good as they thought he was going to be. The GM is still going to say, well, according to our scouts and all this, he was, he's going to be a really, they're never going to be like, oh, we thought he was terrible too. We just wanted to go ahead and pick him up for the heck of it. They're not the Atlanta Braves, for God's sake. But sorry, I had to.
No, you're right. No, you're speaking the truth, man. Cubs did beat the Braves today. They did beat the Braves, go for the sweep tomorrow. Kyle Tucker, 3-run homer. All of a sudden, he's good. He's good again. Oh, thank God.
He's good again. All right. But they, no matter what Jerry wants to say, no matter what Dallas wants to say, this was the guy they had to have in this trade to make the money even out. And you talk about that. If people want to go over to your channel at Football with Cheese, and they can see the reaction video there. You have 2 reaction videos. You have an instant one that you did just shortly after the trade happened, where you look like a crazy lunatic with that same hat on your head, and you're going all crazy about everything. And then you do more of a subdued one after you calm down, and it's like, okay, let's really look at the numbers. And not that I'm telling you to not look at one or the other, but they're just 2 separate videos for those 2 reasons. When you get into the second one, you really talk about a lot of this stuff. And that's the guy they had to have in that trade money-wise to make it all work out. So I don't really care what Jerry Jones says. That's the guy they had to have.
They saved $14.3 million on next year's cap, and they needed it because their next year's cap isn't in the greatest situation. So they needed him to be part of the. I think it just worked out for both teams. Dallas wanted defensive tackle. That's the contract they needed to move. So I think it worked out. And obviously the back issue will be the big thing when it comes to this trade. And I'm optimistic because I hear a lot of players get these back injections. But the fact that he has a chance not to play this week against Detroit is very disappointing because I expect him to play. Like I expect him to play against Detroit, but I still love the move. A lot of Cowboy fans, they're livid. Do you think Jerry Jones really believes it's the best interest of the team, and that he actually said they're better with Kenny Clark and those 2 first-round picks? Do you actually believe that he thinks that? And do you think, a soon-to-be 30-year-old defensive tackle who can, at least has in the past, stopped the run is better than an edge rusher?
Well, they're not better. All right, let's take that word out of the whole thing right now.
Okay.
They're not better. Could they be better if they really hit on these picks and stuff that they're getting? There's a potential for them to be better in the long run. But as of today, are they better? Absolutely not.
Do you think their defense is going to be worth a crap this year?
I think it's still going to be okay, but I mean, it's certainly not the same defense without the guy moving all over the place. And I think that's the biggest thing for Micah Parsons. I don't know how you feel about it, but Micah Parsons has the availability and has the skill set to where he can move all over the line. You never know where he's coming from, and that's part of the allure that is Micah Parsons. So, do they have another guy that can do that? No, not even close. They don't even have guys that are on that line that are good at that one position that they're supposed to play. So I'm not going to say that they're going to be trash, but they're not going to be in the top half of football this year as far as defensively goes.
Spoiler alert, Mike does not put Dallas in his top 10 defenses that we do at the end of the show.
That's correct.
Do you remember Clay Matthews? Packers,
I do.
Remember him? He was a very good player. He had a chance to be a Hall of Famer, but he had injury issues. But he was like that. Green Bay used him like that. They would put him left edge, right edge, at linebacker, line him up middle linebacker, line him up at weak side linebacker, and you never knew if he was blitzing or dropping in coverage. Most of the time he did rush, but sometimes he didn't. And AJ Hawk said it best. He's part of the Pat McAfee show. He said it best. Every single offensive coordinator we faced, and AJ Hawk talked about the game, we have to know where Clay Matthews is at all times. The line, the quarterback, where is Clay on every play? And that is how you have to deal with Micah Parsons. You have to know where he is, where he lines up. And he'll line up a defensive tackle on pass set sometimes over the guard or center. I watched, as soon as the trade happened the next day, I went back and watched a lot of Cowboy film from last year. And they lined him up all over the place. So if healthy, this is just, going to be huge for Green Bay. Let's talk Brian Schottenheimer.
So I'm going to interrupt you for a minute. Let me go back to this for just a second. Okay. So then what the team was like with Clay Matthews. Did Clay Matthews make a huge difference in those Green Bay Packer defenses? How much did they win? And what do you think Micah Parsons is going to do as compared to Clay?
I think Micah Parsons has a higher ceiling than Clay, and Clay was amazing. I think he's actually a little better. I can't believe I'm saying that because Clay's one of my favorite Packers of all time. And what was your first part of your question?
Well, so then how did the Packers do with Clay Matthews?
Well, they won a Super Bowl. They were different defense before Clay, and they did not have a good defense before Clay. They drafted him in 2009, won the Super Bowl in 2010, 2011, something like that. They were a different defense with him, and then when he started having injury issues, they were a different defense. Like they actually had good defenses the year before, year after the Super Bowl, that 3-year stretch. So he changed that whole defense. He also got BJ Raji to play nose tackle, signed Charles Woodson. There was more than that, but a player like that changes your whole defense. If your offensive coordinator and your offensive players have to know where a player is, you are spending so much time on that one player. And Packers don't have a player like that before the trade. So it's a big deal.
Well, most NFL teams don't have a player like that even right now.
The Browns do, but they still suck. Okay. Brian Schottenheimer's new head coach of the Cowboys. Do you think he would have wanted the job if he knew that Micah Parsons would not be part of the team?
First of all, this is a great question, by the way. No, because you have so in Dallas, right, there's a few things that you know are going to happen. Jerry Jones is going to meddle with the team and probably mess it up because that's what Jerry Jones does, right? All he cares about is the attention. I'm completely sold on the fact that that's all Jerry Jones cares about is how many times the Packers are on ESPN and how many story headlines does he have above the fold on newspapers and stuff like that. So I don't really think he tries to win necessarily. So if you're coming in as a coach like that and you already know that Jerry Jones is going to be Jerry Jones, the thing that you kind of hang your hat on is like, well, at least we have the best defensive player in the game, and I've got a shot every year because I have him. And now you don't have him. I mean, what's your other selling point? I've got a overrated quarterback that makes way too much money. I mean, what's your other selling point?
They played 8 games last year that didn't stay healthy,
and he could have gotten run over by a car.
Oh, the Jerry Jones quotes, they write themselves, but oh my gosh. Yeah, Brian Schottenheimer, it's his first shot. Maybe he would have taken it anyway, but he's not in a great situation right now. They don't have a running game. They don't have a good defense. They don't have a good offensive line. That's not a good situation.
No.
And we'll talk more about divisions and predictions in a second.
Sure.
One more question before we do predictions. Looking forward to predictions. This is going to be fun.
Me too.
Are the Packers a top 3 team in the NFC after the trade, assuming Parsons is healthy?
Only because you put the assume Parsons is healthy at the end of the statement.
I had to after what you said.
Yes, because I think you knew I was going to crucify you if you didn't.
Yes.
Only because you put that statement on the end of it. So now let me make you define healthy for me, because I'm already reading that he might not start week 1, and you kind of mentioned it, but you blew right past it, right? And I kind of let you blow past it because I knew I was going to circle the wagons and come back to it.
Yeah.
How many games does he have to play this year in order to make this contract worthwhile for year 1?
A lot. So
the 17, does he have to play 15?
He didn't have to play 17 if he's got. It's hard. A lot of players don't play 17. I still remember. We'll go back to Clay Matthews.
Okay.
The year they won the Super Bowl, he missed, I believe, 3 or 4 games. He had like a shin and maybe something else, and they lost all those games close, like really close. And they actually went 10-6 that year. They were the last wild card team. But if he plays, they win those games. So they were a 13-win team that won 10. And the reason I bring that up is I don't think that's acceptable, because Clay was on a rookie contract. Parsons has to play. If they lose close games that he misses, that's not going to be okay. If he misses 3 games and they win all 3, if he misses the Browns game, they're probably going to win anyway,
Okay.
Bears at home, something like that, and they still win, then it's okay. But if he misses 4 games and they go 1-3 in those games, it's going to be talked about everywhere because of the contract, because of what they gave up. So
it'll be talked about here. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah,
he needs to play since you're the Packers guy. We got to do it.
Yeah, and he's got to play, and he's got to be effective. And we'll see with the back, but I would be disappointed if he doesn't play this week. But if he's not able to go, then he shouldn't. I don't want him to force anything. But he needs to play most of the games.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's go with our predictions, buddy. Where do you want to start?
AFC West. I'll let you go first.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do, just so people know, I'm going to type in. I'm going to have it so we can revisit the end of the season. So, what is your AFC West division winner?
All right, so you're going to keep track of all these, is what you're telling me, right?
Yes, we're going to bring it back up.
Oh, here we go. Look at this.
We're going to have a show after the season for everyone who doesn't know. We're going to go back over it. We're going to see, who did the best. So go ahead with your AFC West division winner.
Maybe we'll have to do something like if you win, you're going to have to wear my team shirt on the show, and if I win, vice versa or something like that.
Wait, which team? You have two teams.
I do have two teams. Now you'll know which team I'm really going to ride with here before this show is over. But yeah.
The thing is, Packers play both those teams this year, so we'll see what happens. That's going to be fun weeks. Those will be fun.
Now, I'm going to ask real quick, and I know we're impromptu and all this kind of stuff in the middle of the show here, but is it in Green Bay that the Cardinals play, or is it out here in Arizona that the Packers come to Arizona?
I believe it's in Arizona and the Bengals at home. Those are your two teams. I believe. Oh, let me double check. I believe they're at Arizona.
Well, I will invite you if you would like, sir. I have 2 spare rooms in my house, so maybe we'll have to talk about this kind of off air, and we don't want to tell everybody where we're going and what's going on, because somebody will probably rob you while you're gone. It'll be another Cattell Marte thing. While you're out of your house, people will rob you or something.
I don't have nice things. They can have it. I don't have nice things. I'm looking at Cardinals, October 19th, 3:25 Central, 1:25 your time, Fox.
Okay. I will
October 19th.
I'll make some phone calls.
Actually, the Bengals week before, so they go Bengals at home, at Arizona, back-to-back weeks. So.
Okay. Interesting. That's after the bye. So it's the bye, Bengals, Cardinals, right?
So Packers will have a bye. The question is, will the Cardinals have a bye? And I just tried to pull it up.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but I'll check.
I believe their bye is later on in the season. But while you're doing that,
it's the week after the Packers. It's the week after.
It's the week after. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So AFC West, that's what we're looking at. And you want my division winner and basically division loser. So who's going to win and who's going to finish in last place, right?
Yeah. So what we're going to do, a lot of people always pick division winners, but I think it's even harder to pick last place. It's really hard. We're going to talk more about last place at the end, but we're going to pick division winners last place. We're not going to go through all 4 because that would take forever. But AFC West has been pretty easy last few years, but it might not be so easy this year. Who you got, AFC West?
Okay. I'm going to go out on my first limb here. I'm going to say division winner is Denver.
Okay.
And division loser is Las Vegas. I think the loser is pretty easy to pick, but I'm going to go Denver instead of Kansas City. Where are you going to go with?
Yes, I have Denver as well. I think I just looked at last year. I looked at analytics. I looked at how many close games the Chiefs won. They went 15-2, but they could have gone 10-7. They won so many close games. They got a lot of help from the refs, obviously. We know that happens. But the Broncos, I think they have a really good roster, good young team. I love ascending young teams. And Sean Payton's a great coach. Yeah, I think the Broncos get it. And Raiders, I think by far, I think it's a big drop-off after the top 3.
Okay. Where are we going next?
NFC West. We're gonna do West first. Everyone does East first, so we're doing West first.
Okay, I like it. I'm out here on the West, so I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So NFC West, this one was pretty hard for me, and it was hard for me not to be a homer because I do think the Cardinals are going to be improved. I just don't know if they can win the division. They're certainly not going to be last. So I'm going to take it because they have by far the weakest schedule because they finished so poorly last year. And I do think they have a very talented team. So I'm going to, you know who I'm going with just because of that, what I said there. I'm going to go with San Francisco as the winner and Seattle as the loser.
Yes, 49ers do have an easier schedule. But I went with the Rams. I really, assuming obviously Matt Stafford's back is healthy, love their offense. And their defensive line is insane. It's so good, so young, so good, and so deep. So I went the Rams. Just they won it last year, and I agree. Seattle, it's tough. Both of these are tough. I think Seattle they're not a bad team. I just think the other 3 are better.
And if you're wondering what I'm doing right there, it's because I'm taking a drink, but I don't want you to see what I'm drinking because nobody wants to sponsor us yet. And as soon as somebody does, I'll drink all over this thing, right? So we need a sponsor for something good to drink, by the way. So
there's this bottled water, that's the Texas bottled water. I'm not gonna say the company I love, but I pour it into a mug. I can't show the bottle, because they won't sponsor us. I'll message them and see what happens. But
okay.
Porsche hasn't got back to me, but we'll work on it.
Okay.
AFC South, who is your division one?
Well, this one's actually pretty easy. AFC South, Houston's going to win this division. Tennessee's going to finish last.
I think, yeah, that's pretty obvious. I don't think we need to explain it. I have the same. NFC South.
So I really, really, really like Tampa Bay. They're going to win. And I really, really don't like New Orleans. So they're going to lose. Tampa Bay winner, New Orleans will finish last.
It's no fun when we pick the same. I was thinking, maybe after the draft that maybe the Falcons had a shot, but I don't like their offensive line right now. Their right tackle is hurt, and Michael Penix is left-handed quarterback. He's their blind side. Their right tackle's out for the year. I don't like the replacement. This could be the worst offensive line the Falcons have had in a long time. So, yeah, I think Tampa takes care of it, no problem, and the Saints are pretty terrible. So, AFC North. This one's
probably going to disagree on this one a little bit.
Probably will.
Probably not the team that's going to be last. Cleveland's going to be last in this division.
Yes.
But I'm going to go with Cincinnati as winning this division and Cleveland being last. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go Baltimore Ravens. I think Baltimore is just one of the best teams in the NFL. I get why you're picking the Bengals. Their offense is incredible. Just missed the playoffs last year, but the Browns, by far, there's a big drop-off after the top three. The Browns are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah, I know I'm the big Bengals guy too. I almost put the hat on today. I have it sitting over here, but I really think that after they took care of Hendrickson, which we said last week, I didn't agree with. That was a dumb move. They botched that from beginning to end. They also signed two more defensive stalwarts. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but two more pretty good defensive players to kind of shore that defense up for them. Here in the last few days, the old Kansas City guy, and then
Mike Pennell.
Detroit's. Mm-hmm.
Mike Pennell, yeah, their run defense. Cincinnati's got to find a way to stop the run, so he's a pretty good run defender. That's a big thing if Cincinnati can stop the run. Yeah, they're going to be a really good team because they couldn't stop it last year at all.
No, and I like what they did. So with all of those moves, that's what pushed me over the edge to pick Cincinnati.
Okay. Yeah, offensive line holds up for the Bengals. It'll be the best offense in the NFL. It's just loaded with position players, obviously. That receiving core. NFC North, this should be interesting. Who you got winning the division?
Okay, so before we do this pick, I want to. All of a sudden, our comments have just stopped, guys. We keep adding people, So I know we're still out there, and I know people are still with us, but you can still comment on the on our NFL talk as well. So feel free to do so. We want to know what
you pick. We want to know if you think the Seahawks are going to win the division. Maybe you disagree.
Yeah.
Maybe no one said Arizona Cardinals yet. Maybe you think they're going to win. So yeah, make sure you comment.
Sure thing. All right. You asked me for NFC North. I'm sure we're going to disagree on this one. I did this just to disagree with you because I'm not sure if I believe this wholeheartedly or not. But I went ahead and picked Detroit for the winner. Okay. Even though they have a really tough road schedule, every road team they play made the playoffs last year.
Crazy,
so
right?
that's a pretty tough road schedule. And then we're probably both going to pick Chicago for the bottom feeder there in the NFC North.
I do have Chicago as last. But yeah, I went with the Green Bay Packers after the Parsons trade. I probably would have picked the Lions before, but after the Parsons trade, I got to pick the Packers to take the division. Not a homer pick at all. No, not at all.
No, not at all. What's that hat you got on your head again? What is that?
It's just my natural head. I have a cheese head. Cheese.
And then it looks like you've got a. It looks like you've got a certain jersey on too, or something. I'm trying to look.
Number 10, Jordan Love.
Oh,
I don't have my Parsons yet. It's on back order.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
All right, buddy. Where are we going to next for these picks?
So we have we've done. We're moving quite along. We just have the East left, so we'll go. This is going to be tough. This is a really tough one. Who's going to win the AFC East? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, this is really tough. Yeah. Not even that huge cheesehead can cover the sarcasm in your voice on that one. Buffalo's going to win. Miami's going to lose.
Okay. I have the same. God, we have way too many the same. But I think Miami has one of the worst rosters in the NFL. I think their roster's gotten worse steadily over the last 3 years. And I think the Jets and Patriots are obviously the Patriots, a lot of people are hyping them, but I think the Jets are a little better than people think. So, I got Dolphins last. One division left. We might have something different. We might have one the same, but I think we're not going to have both the same. We'll see. Who you got is the winner of the NFC East?
All right. So the East, I'm going to say that the winner is Philadelphia and the loser is the New York Giants.
So I also have Philadelphia, but I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys as dead last. I think the Giants have really improved through the draft the last couple of years. I think their defense is pretty good. And Dallas, they're just a mess right now. And they have no momentum. I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, their offensive line stinks. They have no running backs that should really even be on a roster, to be honest with you. Their running back room is garbage. And their defense won't be good. So I'm going to go with Cowboys as last place.
Okay.
So
I almost picked Washington in the beginning over Philly, but I couldn't.
I just couldn't do it either. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like your Dallas pick, and I'm going to tell you, I thought about it as well. The only reason I'm not is because, in my opinion, the most important role on a football field is the quarterback. And since the Giants really don't have one, and even though he's overpaid and overrated, Dak Prescott is still a above serviceable quarterback. So that's what made me put Dallas ahead of New York.
There's a term. The Giants have 3 quarterbacks. If you have 3, you have none. Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah.
If you have 3 guys that may be the quarterback, then you don't have a quarterback. So, a lot will probably depend on Jackson Dart, how well he plays as a rookie, because at some point they're going to go to him. So it's like the Browns.
But I do agree with you. Yeah. Their defense is much improved. So, they've got half of it right. We'll see if they can work on the other half now.
The Giants' offensive line, though, has one really good player, and the other 4 positions could be upgraded. So, offense will be a big reason. If their offensive line plays terrible, they probably will finish last. Okay. So we got our division winners. Give me so you got in the AFC. Let's recap. You have the Bills, you have the Bengals, you have the Texans, and I wrote it down here, Broncos. So who are your 3 wildcard teams in the AFC?
Oh, snot. What are you doing this to me for?
Did you not have it ready?
No, this was not on the notes.
I sent you. Okay, sorry. I sent it late. Sorry. I sent it late. I said it was 2 wildcard teams too. Sorry. I'll go first. I'll go first here. Okay.
Okay. Give me a second.
Okay. So my AFC division winners were Broncos, Texans, Ravens, and Bills. So my wildcard teams, just like you said, the Bengals, I think they'll be a wildcard team. Steelers, yes, I'm riding with Aaron Rodgers. I think the Steelers will be a wildcard team. And then the Chiefs, even though I don't have them winning the division, I still think they'll be a wildcard team. So, those are my 3 wildcard teams. Are you ready?
Okay. So I went Bengals, Houston, Buffalo, Denver.
Yes.
So then I'm going to have to go Baltimore.
Okay.
Kansas City.
Okay.
And a team that I think is really improved, and I looked at their schedule earlier and I thought, wow, this is not bad. I'm going to go the 3rd wild card team in that division because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to do anything, and I really don't think anyone's going to do anything in the AFC South. I'm going to go with New England.
Wow. Okay. So that's open difference. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say it was going to, I'm not looking at you right at the moment. I'm looking at the teams. So it was going to be a toss up between New England and LA in the Chargers, but man, I can't believe in them right at the moment. they just can't seem to win. And until they do, I'm just going to start picking teams over top of them. So I'm going to go with New England for my third wild card team.
So we had 6 of the same, 7 teams the same. I had the Steelers, you had the Patriots. I also left the Chargers out, even though they made the postseason last year. I don't think they got much better. I don't think they got better at all. I think their defense got worse. And they lost their left tackle, Sean Slater. Really good left tackle for the season. Yep. Left tackle is so important. So, yeah, I didn't have the Chargers either. Okay. So, NFC now. I'll go first so you have time.
Okay, go ahead.
I have, let's recap. I have the Rams winning the division, the Buccaneers, the Green Bay Packers, and the Philadelphia Eagles. My wild card teams, I scrolled past it, are the Redskins. Yes, the Redskins, not the Commanders. The Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. Your Arizona Cardinals making it as a wild card this year. Yes, I left out the 49ers. I just, to me, they lost a lot. And they didn't replace the young players they replaced with aren't as good. So I left the 49ers out. Who you got as your, okay, let's recap for you. Okay. So for NFC West, you had the 49ers, you had the Buccaneers, you had the Lions, and you had the Philadelphia Eagles. Who are your 3 wildcard teams?
Okay, so I have to do this because of some things we're going to do later. I can't talk out both sides of my mouth here, and I'm smiling a little bit because I know what's coming. So, and again, for those of you out there in podcast land, myself and Cheese have not done this. I didn't do the wild cards, so this is kind of a fly thing for me here. But I've made some predictions, and we're going to do bold predictions here at the end. So I know what I said in these bold predictions, and I can't go against it.
Well, we can wait. We can come back to this if you want. We can come
No, we're good. I can give you the 3 teams. I'm good. Okay. So I'm going to pick Washington out of the East. I think that's a pretty easy one.
Okay.
I'm going to pick Arizona out of the West. Again, I think they're going to be a much improved team.
I agree.
Well, let's not say much improved. They're going to be an improved team.
Okay.
And then I like a certain rookie quarterback who's kind of sort of a rookie. And you may figure out what's going to happen here.
They have male cheerleaders?
They do. They do. I'm going to pick Minnesota as my third wild card team.
You left somebody out.
I did.
You left the Rams out. Yes.
I did leave the Rams out.
And you left the Packers out.
I did.
You don't have the Packers in the playoffs. That's fine. Okay. Well, our predictions are very different. Okay. Okay. Well, now we're going to let's start with the AFC.
Okay.
AFC title game. What is your final 2 teams AFC? What is your matchup?
All right, so my matchup in the AFC title game is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. I have the Bills as the number 1 seed hosting the Baltimore Ravens, which is a week 1 matchup. So we see it week 1 and we'll see it again in the playoffs. So I have Ravens at Bills as my AFC title game. Oh, let me type yours out.
Yeah, so mine was Cincinnati Buffalo.
I forgot to do the wild card teams. You said,
hang on, I can tell you real quick.
In the NFC, you said
so
Vikings, Redskins, and what was your 3rd team? Cardinals.
The NFC, yeah. So Washington, Minnesota, Arizona, and then the AFC for me was Baltimore, New England, Kansas City.
Okay, NFC title game. Who are your 2 teams?
My NFC title game, even though I didn't pick them to win the division, I do have them going to the title game. Just because you don't win the division doesn't mean you can't get to the title game.
Sure.
I have Washington and Tampa Bay.
Okay, I have half of that. So both matchups, we have one team and not the other. I do have Tampa Bay in the NFC title game. I believe in them. I just think Tampa Bay, I think it's just well run, and no one's really talking about them, but I think they're very good, and I think they're better than last year. And that offense, adding in Emeka Egbuka, I mean, Baker Mayfield could have a huge year, but I'm going with Tampa Bay at the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, wow, imagine that
is my other team. So I got rematch of the 2020 NFC title game that went really horribly. So So Mike has Bengals versus Bills. He has Redskins versus Buccaneers. So Bengals, Bills. Who wins the AFC?
Cincinnati does. Bengals.
Okay. So I have the Ravens, Bills. I actually have the Ravens winning the AFC. So we have different teams there. Same division, different teams. And who wins the NFC? Is it the Redskins or the Buccaneers? Or sorry, Commanders or Buccaneers, whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I caught it the first time too. So my Super Bowl matchup is going to be Cincinnati and Tampa Bay.
Okay, so you got Buccaneers, Bengals. So mine is the Ravens versus the Green Bay Packers. That is my Super Bowl. Are you shocked, Mike? Are you shocked?
I am. I am totally shocked.
Okay. If it is Packers Ravens, I know you probably will be going for my Packers, so that's a good thing.
Yes. Yes, I will.
Yes, you will. Okay. So we have Buccaneers. No, wait. Yes, we do. Bengals. We have Bengals. We have Buccaneers. Who wins the Super Bowl?
I have Cincinnati winning the Super Bowl. I know, big. We're doing our homework teams here, but I really think that the offense will just outscore everybody.
They were in it 4 years ago? Okay. And if anybody could block Aaron Donald in that game, they win. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
They could not block him. They double team and couldn't block him. If they do, they win that game probably easily. That was the big problem. I know Cooper Kupp won the MVP, but the biggest problem was Aaron Donald. Cooper Kupp just happened to catch a lot of balls. So I have Ravens, Packers. I'm still torn with this one because I think the Ravens might be the most complete team in the NFL, but I'm going Green Bay Packers to win the Super Bowl. We both picked our teams. We're both homers. Packers. Yep. Parsons back, gets healthy. He gets a strip sack at the end against Lamar Jackson. Green Bay wins a close game against the Ravens, and they get the Super Bowl champion. There we go. Okay. Awards time.
Yes.
Awards time. You ready?
I actually kind of like these. I like this award stuff more than I did, I think, picking the teams because I like individuals and I like to root for certain individuals. So I found this fun.
Okay. I think offensive rookie or defensive rookie, we already did our list if you watched the podcast last couple of weeks, but we still have to name them. Who is your offensive rookie of the year?
All right. It's one of the reasons why Tampa Bay got as far as they did. Emeka Egbuka is the offensive rookie of the year.
He's probably, I don't bet if you do bet responsibly, but he's like the 6th or 7th in odds. Probably if someone gave me $100, probably I put the bet on because his odds aren't great, but he's going to get targets. So I get
Absolutely.
it. I went with Ashton Gianti. You know how much I love him. Raiders running back. He's just an absolute stud. He is the safe pick, but I still think he's going to win it because he's just so good. So I'll go with Ashton Gianti for the Raiders. Defensive rookie of the year. Who you got?
So I'm sticking with I don't like the Steelers, but they have traditionally had a really good defense, and I think this guy will shine on that defense. I'm still going to go with Derek Harmon, Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, he's a great passer from the interior. If he gets double-digit sacks, he probably will win it. I'm going to go with Abdul Carter, 3rd overall pick of the Giants. He's just an absolute beast. His ceiling is incredible. So, yeah, Abdul Carter, Giants as my defensive rookie of the year. Coach of the year, who you got?
Again, I am all in on this team. Even I love the creamsicle uniforms too. I want one. I'm going to have to get one. I will probably get a Emeka Egbuka creamsicle uniform from them. So I'm going to go Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay head coach.
Probably an underrated coach. He was with the Jets. He didn't have a good quarterback, so it's hard to succeed if you don't have a good quarterback. Do you know who I went with? Do I even need to say it? Who did I pick for coach of the year?
Oh, you probably picked that guy that wears the same shirts that you do on the podcast.
Oh, Cheese?
Well, yeah, the not the hat, but that same jersey.
Oh, I could coach. I'd be a good coach. I'm like,
I'm not saying you wouldn't be.
I'd be a good coach. I'm like, don't you dare suck today. That would be my speech. Don't you dare suck. So, Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers. Green Bay wins 13 games, and he wins Coach of the Year. So, big time award here. You ready? MVP of the NFL. Who you got?
Joe Burrow, quarterback, Cincinnati Bengals.
So
if they have the offensive season that I think they're going to have, I don't know how you can't give it to him. I mean, honestly, he should have got it last year, in my opinion. That poor guy running for his life and scored all those points. They lose 2 games to the Ravens by what, like 2 or 3 points each game.
1.1 game overtime, I think the other. Yeah. And the defense stunk in those games. Yeah.
Yep.
And if he wins those games, you flip those 2 games, he does probably win. And I honestly, I don't know if you know this, but I don't have an AP vote. I don't have a vote for MVP. Probably soon. The way the podcast is going, probably soon. They'll probably give me a vote soon. But I would have actually voted for Burrow. It's not his fault that the defense stunk. In fact, the fact that they won as many games as they did is pretty amazing. And I love predicting people that have never won. And he's never won MVP. So I, too, have Joe Burrow as my MVP. He's also my fantasy quarterback, so he needs to do really well. Okay.
I'll make some calls for you, sir.
Yes. Just make sure he throws 4 touchdowns every game. Okay.
Got it.
Offensive Player of the Year. Who you got?
I've got to stick with the same team because that's going to be the guy that he throws all the balls to, right? Jamar Chase is going to win Offensive Player of the Year.
You know, Saquon
can you really go against this offense for any offensive award? I mean, what other offense is going to have the offense that this team's going to have?
We have to stop.
The defense is the question.
Yes, we have to stop picking the same player. So,
okay.
The defense isn't great, so they're going to throw a lot. And I love picking players that never won. His numbers last year were insane. If Saquon Barkley doesn't run for 1,900 yards, almost 2,000, then Jamar Chase probably wins it. So, and he's never won it. So I got Jamar Chase as my Offensive Player of the Year as well. So, okay. We need to pick someone different. And we probably will for Defensive Player of the Year. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, actually.
Okay. You got somebody.
I'm telling you now, I'm going against my grain because I usually don't pick a team. I usually don't pick a player on a team that I don't think is going to make the playoffs for any of these awards. And for the Defensive Player of the Year, I did. I just think he's going to be that dominant. Yeah. And again, I like picking people that I root for and cheer for. So I picked Matt Crosby, Las Vegas Raiders, as the Defensive Player of the Year.
Never won it. He is a stud. He is an absolute stud. The thing with these awards, one of the reasons Burrow didn't win it, didn't make the postseason. Like Myles Garrett to me is the best defensive player in the NFL.
Okay.
And he should probably have 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He's got, I don't know if he's any. I'm not sure, but
I don't think so.
I don't think he's going to win it because the Browns aren't going to be very good, even if he has a monster year. So,
but I think the Raiders will improve enough to whether it be on the radar, and he'll be able to pull it out and win.
I get it.
Who you got as your Defensive Player of the Year, sir?
That's why I could not pick Myles Garrett because I just don't think the Browns are going to be good. So, back injury aside, still think it's going to be Micah Parsons. He's got a lot of hype. Trade to Green Bay. If he has even just 13 sack season, which he had 12.5 last year, 12.5, I think he's going to take it. So Micah Parsons is my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. Once again, look at the shock on your face.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the hardest question that's ever been asked on the Sportz Truth podcast. It's harder to predict, in my opinion, than the Super Bowl winner. Because usually Super Bowl, you can pick 6 or 7 teams, and probably figure out one of those will probably win it. But every year, predicting who will pick first in the draft is really hard. I do it every year with my friends. I picked the Raiders last year. They picked 6. It's so hard to predict. So, Mike, who do you think will have the first pick in the NFL draft or the worst record in the NFL?
The New Orleans Saints.
I do too. They're going to be terrible. Their quarterback situation is garbage.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing more needs to be said. Okay. So what we're going to do now, over-unders. We're going to quickly go through each team, each division, just say whether we're over or under. And we'll at the end of the year, we'll revisit it, see what we got right, see what we got wrong. And we also, at the end, we're going to pick a lock, one over, one under. That's our lock to go over or under. So where do you want to start? You want to start AFC West?
Sure.
AFC West. All right. Denver, 9.5, over, under.
Over.
I have over as well. Kansas City, 11.5.
Under.
I agree. I think they've gotten too much luck. Chargers, 9.5.
Under.
I have over. I think they're at least a 10-win team. Las Vegas Raiders, 7.5.
Over.
I'm going to go under on that. I don't love the defense. NFC West, Los Angeles Rams, 9.5.
Under.
I have over. Obviously, I picked them in the division. I think we're both going to agree here. Arizona Cardinals, 8.5.
Over.
Over. I agree. They're at least a 10-win team. San Francisco 49ers, 10.5. It's a tough one, yeah.
It is a tough one. I mean, if I'm going to really do it, I would say push on this one. But since we got to go over or under, I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go under. I have them third in the division, so I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under. Yeah. Seahawks, 7.5.
Under.
Under 7.5. I think they're last, but I still think they're at least an 8-win team.
7.5 is a low total, but
it is. But that's one of the reasons I picked them last in the division, because obviously Vegas does not believe in them or Sam Darnold. AFC South, Houston, 9.5.
Over.
I agree. Colts, 7.5.
Under.
I have them over on that.
I don't like the quarterback situation at all.
It's not great, but 7.5. Wow, that's so low. They still have a lot of good skill position on the offense. Jacksonville Jaguars, 7.5.
Under.
I really want to go over there, but I picked too many over, so I'll agree with you. I'll say under. And Tennessee Titans, 5.5.
I'm going to say over. I'm going to give them a little more credit because they got some decent receivers and they got a first-year quarterback. I don't know how many they win in the first half of the season, but I think they'll come on in the second half of the season and be able to go for the over.
All they have to do is go 6-11. I have them over as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay, 9.5.
Over.
I agree. Carolina is 6.5.
This one was really hard for me because we don't know what we're going to get from Bryce Young, but yet they've got some decent offensive players as well. I'm going to go over. I'm going to give them a break.
They have to be better. I think the biggest question for them is they drafted 2 pass rushers second and third round. Their defense stunk last year. If those guys make an impact, they will be over, but their defense could be pretty bad. Atlanta, 7.5.
I was wishy-washy on them too. I heard you have convinced me to change this pick. I'm going to go under because of you were talking about their line. I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go over just because they really improved their pass rush. So I think it will help the defense. I think their offense will be worse, but I think their defense will be better. And I think we both agree New Orleans, 6.5.
Yeah, way under.
I'm shocked that it's 6.5. They should be 3.5. AFC North, Baltimore, 11.5.
Baltimore, 11.5. Under.
Under. I could not disagree more. I have them over. I think the Ravens, I think they're the best overall roster in the NFL. Pittsburgh Steelers, 8.5.
I don't have them winning the division, but 8.5 is low for a Steeler team with Aaron Rodgers. As much as I don't like the Steelers or Aaron Rodgers, but if I'm just going to do over and under, I'll go over.
Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record, so I went over. I have them in the playoffs as well. I know you're gonna what you're gonna say here. Bengals 9.5.
Over.
I agree. And Browns 4.5, which is the lowest total on this list.
Wow. Under. I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go over, which means I just picked over for all four of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go over because 4.5 is so small. So, okay. NFC North, Green Bay Packers 9.5.
I'll go over.
They're going to over. Didn't pick me in the playoffs, but okay. Detroit is 10.5.
That doesn't mean they won't win 10 games. It just means they won't make the playoffs. That's a really good division, too. Besides
Seattle
the
won 10
Chicago
games
Bears.
last-
I mean, the other three teams in that division are pretty good.
It's a really tough division. Detroit 10.5.
Over.
I agree. They won 15 games last year. How are they 10.5?
Yeah.
Minnesota 8.5.
Well, now Detroit, again, we said it, I said it earlier, every one of their road teams went to the playoffs last year. So they don't get a break on the road. So
Still, they have
I'm sorry.
really good team.
Yeah. So you said Minnesota, what was their number, sir?
8.5. I know where you're going here.
Over.
Yeah, because you haven't played. I also agree over. They won 14 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think they'll be as good, but definitely over 8.5. And the Bears are also 8.5. What you got?
Under.
I agree. Okay, AFC East, Bills 11.5.
Ooh, 11.5's a lot. Over. I'll still go over.
They have a weak division, so definitely over. Jets are 6.5.
This will be another one that I would probably do a push on because I think 6.5 is about the right spot for them. But I'll go over.
I'm going to go over. I think they're a 7-8 win team. New England is 8.5.
Wow, I like them, and I really want to go over, but I can't, man. 8.5 is a lot.
But you picked them to make the playoffs. So you have to go over. So you have to.
Fine. Over. Fine.
You have to go. Because we can't make the playoffs 8 and 9. So okay, I have them under.
Well, you could.
It's possible. I think it's just a real aggressive. They won 4 games last year. I think they could. 7 or 8 seems about right to me, but I'm going to go under 8.5. Miami is 8.5.
Under, sir.
Yeah, I agree. Philadelphia Eagles 11.5.
Over.
I agree. Washington is 9.5.
Over.
Yeah, they won 12 games last year. A little surprised that they weren't 10.5. Giants are 5.5.
I'm going to go over on them too because I'm not sure about their quarterback, but they've got half of it right. We talked about it a few moments ago. They've got their defense right, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt too.
Just like I can't remember what team we said, but I think it was the Titans. All you have to do is go 6-11 to be over.
Yeah.
And Dallas is 7.5.
Under.
Tricky. Yeah, this one I struggle with. This is one of the hardest ones, but I'm going to go under as well because I picked over for the other 3 in the division. Okay, what is your lock for over? Which team that you went over is your lock to go over?
Oh, so you want me to do one over and one under? Because I did 2 unders that were locks.
Oh, okay. It's fine. You can pick 2 unders. What? Oh, interesting. Most people go over. Okay. What's your first lock?
So I'm going to go New Orleans as my first under lock.
Okay.
I took the stuff off my screen. What was their number?
They are 6.5.
Yeah, they're never going to make 6.5.
I almost picked them as one of my locks, but I decided there were 2 more I like better. So one of my locks is the Packers over 9.5. Obviously, I think they could win 13 games. They're going to be favored at least 13 if Parsons is healthy. Okay, so I have the Packers over. You have the Saints under. What is your other lock?
So my other lock is also an under because, again, I think this is another terrible team, and I just don't see them winning that many games. That's Miami.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I had. 8.5. They're the same as Minnesota. That's crazy. I also had the Dolphins under. I'd be shocked if they won 7 games. I just don't like their offense or defensive line. Okay. All righty. So, I think top 10 time. Do we have anything else?
No, it's bold prediction.
Oh, bold predictions. Oh, yeah. I guess I could have scrolled down and looked at my notes. Okay, bold predictions. I have 2. Do you have 2?
I do. I have 2.
Okay, why don't you go first?
After a 5-win season, Sean McVay retires at season's end.
That's bold. That would make me look bad. Okay. All right. My bold prediction is Baker Mayfield will throw more touchdown passes than he did last year. And he threw 41 touchdowns, second in the NFL. He will eclipse that. In fact, he'll eclipse Joe Burrow's 43 from last year and throw 45 touchdowns for the Buccaneers. But he won't win the MVP because Burrow still will get it.
So will Burrow throw more than the 45 or will he throw less than the 45?
He'll throw less than the 45, but he'll throw for more yards and he'll still win the MVP because it's Joe Burrow and because his defense is worse and because he has to do more. So he'd still win the MVP, but Baker will finish second.
Okay.
Okay. What is your second bold prediction?
All right. Hang on to your cheese hat.
Okay.
Micah Parsons only plays 5 games because of his recurring back injury. He has surgery halfway through the season, and Green Bay misses the playoffs.
You're not very good at this bold prediction thing.
No, I'm not.
Okay. How about this? Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold gets benched halfway through the year, is released after the season. Jalen Milroe is their starting quarterback to finish out the season in Seattle.
Okay. I like that actually because even though I hear that Cooper Kupp and Sam Darnold are really clicking in camp, it certainly could happen. And I thought New England gave up on him way too soon, by the way.
Sam Darnold had a great year until the end of the season. He collapsed. And he was never good before then. Kevin O'Connell's a great head coach, won coach of the year. Doesn't have him anymore. If Sam Darnold, becomes the old Sam Darnold, it could be a disaster for Seattle. And the offensive line is questionable. They don't have a great offensive line. Sam Darnold's great when he has a clean pocket. He's great. But when he gets pressure, like he did the last game of the season against the Lions and the playoff game against the Rams, pressure in his face the entire game, he was a disaster. And I don't think Seattle's got the offensive line. They need someone that can run around like Jalen Milroe. So I think he will revert to the old Sam Darnold. And real quick, I had in my notes, I forgot to mention it. One of the reasons I love Baker Mayfield to throw that many touchdowns is, like you said, Emeka Egbuka. If Chris Godwin's healthy, wow, what a receiving core. Like they're going to throw it like crazy. So that's why I think, and Mike Evans you can just throw it up to him when in doubt. So that's why I think he's going to get 45 touchdowns. So all right, those are our bold predictions.
All right, so I'm going to ask about your bold prediction here. So Rams, Cardinals, 49ers, do any of those teams really have a big-time pass rush, though, that'll get to Sam Darnold?
It doesn't matter with that offensive line. No, the Rams have one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, one of the best defensive lines. They have 5 or 6 guys that are just absolute studs, most of them young. 49ers had Nick Bosa, no one else, to answer your question. And Walter Nolan's got to get healthy. That's Arizona that worries me a little because I was really counting on Walter Nolan making a big difference. So hopefully they can survive before he comes back. He's got to miss, I think, at least the first 4 games.
First 4. Yeah, he's on the PUP list. So first 4.
First 4. And Josh Sweat
unable to perform, by the way, everybody.
And they signed Josh Sweat in free agency. So they really did improve their defense. And Will Johnson in the second round, cornerback, who's looked really good. So that's one of the reasons I picked Arizona is to make the playoffs because they really improved that defense.
Okay, buddy. Truth top 10. What's our topic today?
Is the top 10 defensive units in the NFL, just overall defenses, in the league. Okay,
so I meant to ask you this before we started the show. I know how I did it. Let me see how you were thinking it. So are we saying right now or were we looking at last year?
Not last year, right now.
Okay.
Because I have a few teams that were not top 10 defenses last year, but they improved.
So you want improving top 10? Is that what you want?
Just right now, yeah, because draft free agency, I looked at everything. Top 10 defenses going into the season, not last year.
Okay.
Is that what you had, or did you have last year?
I kind of had last year, but I wondered, so I was looking at a few things. Excuse me, and I can make a few tweaks as we go along, so not a big deal.
Okay, I can go first if you'd like.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Number 10. By the way, real quick, our lists have been so different lately. Maybe they'll be close, but number 10, I have the Cleveland Browns as my number 10. I know that sounds crazy, but Myles Garrett is, to me, the best defensive player in the NFL. And they added Mason Graham in the first round, Carson Wentz in the second round in the draft. Huge upgrades to defensive tackle and middle linebacker. You know, the front seven is going to be pretty darn good. The problem is the rest of the team, offense and the secondary is pretty bad. So, but I still think Browns number 10.
Okay. I'm going to base a lot of what I'm going to say on last year. I didn't go through and look at a lot of the improvements, but I will throw an improving team. Last year, they were 15th in total defense, and I think they will improve from that this year and get up to number 10. That is the Arizona Cardinals. That's who I'm going to put at number 10.
I didn't put them there mainly because Walter Nolan's not healthy, but I get it. Number 9, with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a good defense, not a great defense, but you got to include the defensive coordinator in this, and Steve Spagnuolo is one of the best. So, yeah, the Chiefs, number 9 for me.
Okay. Where am I going to go here? I think they're still going to be a top 10 defense, but you know what? No, I can't say that because I just said they're going to have the defensive player of the year. So Baltimore Ravens, number 9 for me, 5.2 yards per play last year. There's a lot of teams that were in that 5.2 to 5.4. Let's see here. The other big thing for me, only 12 interceptions. So I don't think their secondary is quite as good as it needs to be when you're looking at an overall defense. So I'll put Baltimore Ravens down at number 9.
Okay. More on them in a bit. Number 8, I have the Houston Texans. This was a team. So when I messaged you about doing this top 10, I kind of wrote down like 12 or 13 teams. I thought I did not have the Texans written down. And then I looked more at it in analytics and realized that their defense is pretty darn good. It's their offense that collapsed. They weren't any better last year. They're about the same. But they have really good corners, 2 terrific pass rushers. So really the only big issue on their defense I have is defensive tackle. That's the only big weakness, like their depth on the secondary. So, yeah, number 8, Houston Texans.
All right. So for me, more on them in a moment.
Okay.
I am going to go. You made this hard. I'm going to go Green Bay Packers at number 8.
It's difficult.
Yes, you did. You did. Because I'm looking at different numbers now. I've got 2 or 3 sites up, and I'm going back and forth here. And I tell you why I'm going to put them where they are. It's one thing. They were a heavy penalized team, so it knocks out some of those turnovers and stuff that they got. They had almost 1,000 yards in penalties last year, so they would be higher for me if they didn't have that. So that's why I'm going to put them where I put them.
Okay, I'm aware. More on them in a second.
Okay.
Number 7, I have the Detroit Lions. I know they had their defense kind of collapsed this year, but it was injuries. They still have a very good defense. Aiden Hutchinson's back. You know, they drafted Tyleik Williams. They have DJ Reader now. So they run defense. Defensive tackle was a problem with Lee McNeil still injured, but they upgraded that. And, you know, the safeties are incredible. They have 2 great safeties. My biggest issue with the Lions defense really is, well, they will not get another pass rusher opposite Aiden Hutchinson. They're okay with being below average there. I don't know why, So, yeah, Detroit Lions, number 7 for me. Who you got? Number 7.
Number 7 is probably going to, it might shock you here a little bit, but I'm dropping a team way down. They were up in the top 3 in everything that I was reading and everything that I looked at because of the fact that they didn't allow very many points. There were 301 points allowed as far as that part goes. So, but I don't think they improved. In fact, we said it earlier, I think this team's defense got worse. So I'm dropping them from, either 1, 2, or 3, depending on which publication you're looking at, down to 7. Los Angeles Chargers.
San Diego Superchargers. Okay. I dropped them down so much they're not on my list. I think they overachieved as a defense last year. Statistically, can't even talk. Statistically. Mm-hmm. I don't love their secondary. I don't love their defensive line. I didn't even put them on here. So, all right. My number 6 is the New York Football Giants. They, to me, are the most improved defense in the NFL. Dexter Lawrence, their nose tackle, is the best nose tackle in the NFL, bar none. He's incredible. They already had Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. They drafted Abdul Carter. They have Bobby Okereke, I believe that's his name, really good linebacker. And they went out and got Paulson Debo to play corner and Javon Holland to play safety. They really don't have a unit that's weak on their defense. Might be on the field a lot because their offense isn't great. But, Giants are number 6 for me.
Okay. You said this team earlier, I believe. You gave the Detroit Lions. I like what they've done. And they're going to have Adrian Hutchinson for hopefully the entire. Yeah. What'd I say?
You said Adrian.
Isn't that his first name?
Aiden.
Oh, is it Aiden?
Aiden, yes.
All right. Well, thank you for correcting me, sir. I don't like pronouncing people's names wrong.
You don't like Michigan
players.
You purposely mispronounce people that went to Michigan because you don't like Michigan players.
Well, that's very true, but still. So I'm gonna pull them up. Everything I was looking at everything. They're in that 8 to 10 range. I'm gonna put them up at 6.
Okay. My number 5 is your favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they had one of the best defense in the NFL, and TJ Watt hurt his foot and they collapsed, but it's still a really good defense. And like you said, they added Derek Harmon and they needed another defensive lineman. That was a huge need for them. So, and Darius Slay, they added to play corner. They need another corner opposite Joey Porter Jr. So Pittsburgh Steelers, number 5 for me.
I'm going to do the same. Pittsburgh Steelers, number 5. And I thought about putting them a little higher, to be honest. But they're going to face a team twice this year that's going to be a real offensive juggernaut. So I think that's really going to drop their numbers down some. So I would probably put them 4, but I dropped them to 5 because they're going to face the Bengals twice.
They're going to face the Ravens twice too. Pretty good offense as well.
Yeah. I'll give the Ravens their due. I don't like them per se, but yes, I'll give them their due. You're right. Both two really good offenses in the same division will take away from their defensive numbers.
They also, week 8, host Green Bay Sunday Night Football.
Oh, that'll be no
Rodgers versus the Packers. Speaking of the Packers, number 4, I have the Green Bay Packers as the number 4 defense. Obviously, Micah Parsons, he'll be fine. Green Bay would not have been top 5. They probably would have been 7, 8, 9, if not for the addition of Parsons. Couldn't put him top 3, but because the corners, the biggest issue I have in their cornerback situation isn't great. They're going to play a lot of cover 3, a lot of zone. Because of that, they just can't play man. They can't match up man. So it's a lot of cover 3, but top 5 defense for sure if Parsons is healthy.
All right. So this is number 4, right? Because
yes.
Okay. I'm not writing this stuff down or anything, so I'm just kind of winging this a little bit here.
Okay.
So I'm going to put Kansas City at number 4, and I'll tell you why. I put them a lot higher. Where did you have Kansas City in your rankings?
Number 9.
Okay. So I put them pretty high. They only gave up 3,720 yards last year and only allowed 375 completions. as far as passing attempts go. Both of them were top 3 in the league. So even though I don't think they improved their defense this year, even if they stay status quo, that's still pretty darn good. So I put them at number 4.
To me, they don't have like a great defense overall. If you look at like 1 through 11, but they have pieces. Trent McDuffie, great corner. Chris Jones, great defensive tackle. So, and then I don't think they have a weakness either on defense. They just have 2 really good players, and everyone else is solid. So I get it. Yeah, that's why I had to put them in the top 10. Who do I have? Okay, number 3. I have the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles at number 3. They did lose a couple big defenders on the defensive line. 2 guys that got 2 sacks in the Super Bowl, and but it's still really good defense. The corners are good. The linebackers are incredible, and Philadelphia Eagles still have a great defense. Number 3.
All right, I'm going to agree with you. Same team, same spot. Philadelphia Eagles, number 3. They're kind of what you said with Kansas City. They're really good across the board. Now they did lose Sweat. So I think that's going to hurt them at least a little bit. And they had one of the lower rushing totals allowed by any team. In fact, only allowed 9 rushing touchdowns. There are only 2 teams that allowed single-digit touchdowns last year rushing the ball. The Chargers only had 7, and the Eagles only had 9. So number 3 defense for me, Philadelphia Eagles.
Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, a defensive tackle, are incredible. That duo were both incredible in playoffs, especially Jalen Carter. So it's tough to run on them. Yeah, Milton. Well, they lost Josh Sweat. They also lost Milton Williams to New England. Josh Sweat to the Cardinals.
You're right.
Both of them had 2 sacks in the Super Bowl. So that they did lose that. They have depth there. So I don't know if it'll be as good, but it's still really good. So we both have 3. So my number 2, you've already said. So I wonder who's going to be one. Obviously, one team we haven't mentioned. We're both going to mention, but I'm curious what other team you haven't said. But my number 2 is the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're one of the more improved defensive teams in the draft. So they got Mike Green the second round. Let's talk about him first. If not for allegations of, I'll just say SA, 2 different ones, one in high school, one in college, he would have gone in the top 15. So they basically got a top 15 talent in the second round. And they also got Malachi Starks from Georgia. So they got 2 instant starters that I think will make a huge impact on the defense right away. And they already had good linebackers like Calvin Noy, Roquan Smith. So I think Baltimore, and Kyle Hamilton is one of the best safeties in the NFL. So I think Baltimore's defense, I have them too. So I think very highly of them this year. And I have them in the Super Bowl. So
All right. So I like what this team did in the draft. This is the thing that you do, and I'm gonna flip this on you. I'm really shocked because I don't think you mentioned this team. I mean, I've really, this was done a little different for me, so I'm really concentrating on what I wanted to do here at number 2. Did you mention the Denver Broncos, sir?
I will in 1 second.
See, I'm putting Denver Broncos at number 2.
Spoiler.
I didn't think you'd said them yet, and I was like, "Why isn't he? Am I wrong?" I was sitting over here looking at all the numbers, like, "No, I'm not wrong."
I'm about to say them.
Okay, now you got me all laughing. The glasses are all crazy now. I can't see. Okay, yes, it is. They did give up quite a bit of passing yards actually, and they gave up a lot of touchdowns. 22 touchdowns and 3,752 passing yards, but they also got 15 interceptions. And this is where I'm going to flip it around on you here for a change. I like Barron that they got from Texas in the first round, pick number 20. I also like Jones, the edge rusher that they got from LSU in their 3rd round. And even the linebacker Robinson that they got from Alabama in the 4th round. I like all 3 of those guys, and I'm sure that's why you're going to put them where you're putting them at. So from what they had last year and what they got in the draft, especially since that's how you kind of qualified it a few minutes ago, once you told me exactly what we were doing, I'm like, I've got to push the Denver Broncos even higher up this list because I had them at like 5 or 6, and so after the way you qualified it, I wanted to push them further up.
Yeah. So my number one easy transition is the Denver Broncos. I think they have the best defense in the NFL. I think what sold it, I'll talk about the players in a second you just mentioned, but Vance Joseph's one of the more underrated coordinators in the NFL. He's a defensive coordinator. He wasn't the best head coach, but really good coordinator. Zach Allen, one of the most underrated defensive linemen. You said they gave up a lot of passing yards. I think the main reason is, besides Patrick Surtain, who was the defensive player of the year, they didn't really have another really good corner, but they drafted Jody Bear in the first round. So now they do. Probably going to be their slot corner. They have outstanding pass rushers, Nick Benito. They added Dre Greenlaw to play linebacker. John Franklin Myers. I mean, they're just loaded. This whole defense just has a lot of good players. And I think it's going to be the best defense in the NFL this season. So that leaves one team that I'm trying to think who yours could be. Have I mentioned this team?
You have.
Okay, good. I was like, who could this be?
Gosh, this guy's retarded. We got to stop doing these top 10 lists. He ain't even know what he's doing.
It's the Cincinnati Bengals, right?
No, it's not.
The Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers.
New Orleans Saints. So 29 takeaways. They recovered 10 fumbles. Let's see here. Let me get a couple other the stats that I was looking at here. Only 19 interception. That was the other one. And then net yards gained per pass attempt was really low on them as well. You said that you were surprised by them when you started looking at their stats. And you know me, I'm a stat guy.
Makes sense.
So that's what I was looking at, especially when we were looking at, because I was looking at last year's stuff a lot more than I was where they improved. And then I looked them up here while we were doing some other stuff. Jalen Smith, really good cornerback, and I think will improve that defense even more. So I'm going to put the Houston Texans as the number one defense in the NFL for the upcoming season.
I get it. And Jalen Smith, I mean, you have Derek Stingley Jr. and Kamari Lassiter as well. Like, that cornerback room is insane. Mm-hmm. You have Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter. I mean, are you going to find a better pass rush duo? Well, maybe Green Bay now. But no, it's the only issue I have with them, like I said, is defensive tackle where they're weak. But every other place, their safeties they're deep at safety. You got 3 good safeties. They're just loaded on defense. So I get it. Now you make me think I should have put them higher than 6.
I like to make you think a little bit, sir. That's my job here on the Sportz Truth.
Okay, I like to throw you off apparently and ask you questions that we didn't plan.
That's okay. It was kind of nice to go through and scramble a little bit there. I was doing like a scramble drill there for a second, but that was good. That was good. All right, buddy. Hey, man. So anything else that you want to do with our NFL preview and prediction part of the show?
No, I typed it all up. Bowl predicted everything. We'll revisit it. It was a lot of fun, and I like these top 10s. And I've gotten some positive feedback from family, friends, and saying they like the top 10. And one friend said, I even make sure the next day I scroll the end to make sure. I was like, well, watch the whole thing, but you can scroll the end. It's fine, but make sure maybe watch the whole thing.
Yeah, be nice. Be nice. So 70 people have watched the whole thing, so we are good, man. We appreciate each and every one of those people. Thank you all very much for that. And we had a lot of comments, especially in the beginning of the show. We did your bold predictions. We did the flaming 5 and 5 after 5. So I mean, we did a lot of different stuff in the show today. So I like it. We're keeping it fresh. We're keeping everything put together. I really like what the two of us are doing here. And by the views and things that we're getting as everything keeps going up, I don't want to pat myself, break my arm, patting myself on the back here. But I believe we're really making a successful show, and our fans are telling us that. So we appreciate that. Yep,
we appreciate all of you.
All right, buddy. Anything else you want to add across the board? Anything? You want to talk about? We'll talk about a top 10 list next week. I've let you pick the last 2. I'm gonna be a little stingy this time. I'm gonna pick our top 10 for next week. I'll let you know what it'll be here in the next 24, 48 hours. Next week is going to be just a regular show. No predictions, nothing like that. But I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about after week 1 in the NFL.
Absolutely. Yeah. The top 10 list. Yeah. You do sometimes ask me what should we do, so that's one reason.
No, I 100%. You should feel privileged. You really should. My wife tells me all the time when I only, she'll see me writing the show out, right? Because she knows, okay, don't bother him. He's writing the show out. I'm over there doing a bunch of stuff on the bar, So we're writing. I'm writing everything out. And she's asked me the last couple of times. She said, "Baby, you're not writing the whole thing now. What's going on? Are you letting someone else have control?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Now I'm actually giving some control to Cheese. I'm letting him have control of the show. Everybody else that's ever been with me on this show beforehand can tell you. I say I'm writing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and so you should feel privileged. I'm giving you some of the control, sir."
Why, thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Oh my God, it's part of my head. My head's falling apart. Oh no. Oh no.
It's nacho. Nacho head now. Anyway, that's terrible.
So, make sure you follow me on YouTube at Football with Cheese. You see it on the screen. Follow me YouTube. Hit the bell for notifications. I think this week, later in the week, I'm going to do 2 videos. One AFC, one NFC. I'm going to go over basically the breakout thing, or the thing I think it's going to be really good for every team this year, and maybe the thing that could derail the season. So what could make them a contender and make their season good and make their season bad. So I was going to do all in one video, but I realized I can't talk 30 seconds about each team. You know me. It's going to be at least a minute. So I'll have to separate AFC and NFC. So look for those Thursday and Friday on Football with Cheese.
Yeah, that's going to be good. So you're going to do both. What can make the season and what can break the season, basically.
Exactly. Yep. So I'll talk about a minute with each team. We'll do AFC, then NFC, probably Thursday and Friday. Look for those.
All right. Excellent. We certainly will. That'll be at Football with Cheese. You also do some Packer articles. Tell us where we can find your Packer articles at, sir.
PackersTalk.com, Packers with an S. Check it out every Monday right now. Article comes out. It's all about the Green Bay Packers. And it's thinking outside the box. It's not, the stuff that everyone writes. I look at analytics, I look at trends, and apply that to the Packers.
All right. So we thank each and every one of you guys for being with us. We know that, you go through and you pick part of the shows, like some of Cheese's friends just listen to the end, and that's fine too. We get it. Your time is valuable, and so is ours. So we appreciate that.
He loves the top 10. He basically said, I always check the top 10 out. I'm like, thank you, I guess.
I guess that doesn't mean he doesn't listen to other parts of the show. He just makes sure he does the top 10 every time. So
exactly.
That's what we'll go with.
He's got kids, so he's busy, but he helps out.
Right. All right. So the Sportz Truth, as you see it behind me with a Z, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. You can go to @the643&out-pod as well and get all of that. And I will tell you, look for this announcement. It's coming, guys. We're really close to doing what we want to do here. And it should be within the next week or so. We should be able to make a pretty big announcement as to how we're going to further everything going on right at the moment with myself, Cheese, and a few other people going to join the force. So, can't wait for that to all be announced and be able to bring that to all of our viewers out there. All right, guys, as we say at the end of each and every show, hang on here. Let me get the music going. Let's do it, because we haven't had any music at all, but we'll put some at the end here. All right. As we say at the end of each and every show, the only thing that's fair in life, ladies and gentlemen, is a baseball hit between the third and first base line. Good evening, everyone.